Well, I got to make sure everything's connected. That's the pre-show.
Yeah. I'm a grumpy boy.
Okay, restream's up. YouTube's up with terrible stream health. That's a good start.
Yeah, fuck you. Hashtag fuck YouTube. I was watching my buddy's Pokemon card stream, his job is to be the YouTuber guy, and he was telling us he's essentially even trying to just get off YouTube and essentially move his whole job away off the fucking platform because it's so ass.
JD joined on Periscope. That's not me. I guess there's someone else named JD.
Maybe.
Maybe. Funny. Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing from Twitch yet. Periscope and Mixer are online. That is good. That is good news to see.
Word.
Come on, Twitch. Work with me.
Twitch. Oh, fuck. How close am I to affiliate? Oh, I want to be an affiliate so bad, man. Penises.
Twitch, are you gonna work any day now?
Never.
Okay.
Because you touch yourself at night.
There we go. Okay. Fucking ads.
Twitch.
So
Twitch.
stupid.
Don't make fun of my body.
Don't make fun of my body.
It's a hit 1974 song.
Right. Kevin, you watching TLC tonight? Or are you going to bed?
I'm going to bed at like 5 o'clock this evening. I'll watch TLC tomorrow.
Yeah, that's the right choice. Ring of Honor Final Battle was really good.
I heard it was good.
Oh, yeah, it was good. The weakest match was the women's match. And
of course, because they're women, am I right? I'm sorry.
Nah, they're just like, I don't know. Ring of Honor's just not doing it right. And they haven't made any stars.
Yeah, well, they're getting all scooped up.
They've had 8 months to make a star that they've signed, and they just haven't done it. Like, no one seems to have that it factor, But it's not like they're giving them stories or anything, and they're hopping on them at all.
They're all in NXT, man. That's where all the stars are at.
Yeah, not being used.
Well, they're being used in NXT.
No.
And then they get called up, and they go, "What do you do again?"
Yeah, who are you? Yeah, the Rock to Booker T. Famous line. Who are you? Oh, good. That'll get a guy over.
What was I gonna say? Oh, Vince doesn't watch NXT.
He doesn't watch SmackDown either, apparently.
Oh, great! No wonder well, that's why that show's good.
But
I guess
SmackDown.
So the shows
the formula.
Yeah, but they do it better.
The formula? It's still boring as fuck.
Nah, I love it. I feel like SmackDown does it way, way better than Raw.
That's still the same boring formula over and over again.
Love it. 10 out of 10. Not 10, but probably like an 8.
Finally getting audio to come through.
Fuck the audio. Who needs it? It's a podcast.
That's the spirit.
Dude, fucking, y'all should buy Raging Justice. This game is wonderful.
Not familiar.
It's a really, unique looking beat 'em up.
God, why?
Like, that's the best way I could put it.
Did it freeze? Like, what happened?
Restream sucks.
No. It's the Twitch stream. It's not cooperating
God
right now.
Damn it, Twitch. Stop letting me down. I back you. Personally.
Yeah, it's like frozen.
Body slam.
Come on.
Are we still talking? I see. I'm looking at the schedule, and I'm wondering, are we still talking to the moon?
Oh, yeah. We can talk that. That'll be
What the fuck?
you know what?
That was
I'll add it
2
right now. Thank you, Colin. I almost
You'll
forgot.
find out soon enough, Kevin.
Okay.
Right, I'll just
I
add it
trust
to
you.
you, Colin. Bring it up. Moon. Kevin's gonna talk
Also,
Witcher
you picked
3.
a hell of a time to play the entire game at once.
What now?
You picked a hell of a time to play it all at once. Midnight to 4 a.m.
Yeah, what's the problem?
The problem is that I was visiting family for Christmas over the weekend.
Christmas is
Oh,
not
joke's on-
this weekend.
Yeah. Seriously, joke's on you. Christmas is next week, nerd.
Ordinarily, yes, but my brother's wife has.
I'm pretty sure it's the
plans-
same in Canada.
Bizarre. world.
Ordinarily, yes,
Yeah.
but my brother's wife has some big plans with her family, so we decided to have an early Christmas celebration
Hmm.
Whack.
with our family.
That's whack, yo. Are you
It's also
tilted,
kind of in lo-
daddy-o?
It's kind of in line with a thing we used to do as a family called Dutch Christmas, where we'd celebrate it on the 5th instead of the 25th. Sinterklaas, as they call it.
That's St. Nicholas Day. Is December 6th. That's probably why it's a December 5th celebration.
Known as Sinterklaas in Netherlands.
Hmm.
Guten Tag.
Yeah.
That's not.
Oh shit!
That's not
Hold
Dutch.
on. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. I gotta get up. Coming.
Alright, getting ready shortly as soon as Twitch starts to cooperate the proper way. Looks like I'm going to have to reset the Twitch stream. Bear with me. Uno momento, por favor.
Hi.
Ja. Jawohl, mon ami.
Oui.
Oh man. All these oh, okay. That's what was happening. All right. Maybe it'll work now. That's why we do the pre-show setup. And it gets and you know, it never hurts for a little bit of time to pass for people to join the stream. You know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Here we are.
Ah.
Okay.
Crack babies.
Where'd that come from?
Crack babies. That's a thing to say.
Loves to eat sandwiches out of trash cans.
Oh, Rugrats style.
Is this a question the world will never know?
Alright, it seems to finally be working. Is everyone all set to go?
Yep.
I got my intro ready.
How many viewers we got? Got 4 over on Twitch. We got a couple on YouTube. None on Mixer, and 1 on Periscope for now. But Periscope doesn't track viewers properly, so find out later how many there were. We had 17 on the anime stream yesterday. That was cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Alright. I shall do the countdown, if we're all ready.
Yep,
Good to
I'll
go.
do the intro.
Alright. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey, welcome one and all to the one and only Red Leaf Retrocast, the craziest podcast on the internet. I'm here with 2 other crazy hosts to talk about some crazy games and make some crazy money. Ah, just kidding. We don't make any money from this show. That would be crazy. Crazy awesome. So come on, give us a sponsorship. In the meantime, I'm handing off to our crazy showrunner, JD. Take it away, pal.
Amazing intro, Colin. It's good to be here to the Red Leaf Retrocast, and this is the retro gaming one. That voice is infectious.
Yeah, I enjoyed doing it on the last cast, so I wanted to do more of it here.
You want to listen to more crazy episodes? Head on over to iTunes and Stitcher and all your favorite podcasting sites. All right, so now that that's out of the way, yes, this is the Red Leaf Retrocast. Episode, what are we on? 34? Yes, 34 of this edition. We're over 100 strong. We have been for about a month now. Very nice. This episode is titled Character Origins. Colin's theme pick for the day.
Yeah.
I quite like this this topic. It's just simple. Pick a game where a character first appears, and the other stipulation is they have to appear in more than one game, so no one-offs here.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping maybe you guys would pick games where the character origin is for a character that's not the main character of the series. Well, that's why I picked.
I noticed that. I noticed that. That's what your picks were, but I think it gave also a good excuse to some titles we haven't visited before as well.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's the way I looked at it. Well, I'm your host, JD. The one who did the amazing intro was Colin, and we're also joined here by Kevin. How you doing, Kevin?
Ah!
You're tired?
I'm very tired. I had a long day yesterday. I didn't go to bed till 2:30. And I didn't sleep very well. And it was podcast time.
It's podcast time. I always have a fun time doing this with you guys. Our listener base is increasing by the day. We're getting many reviews. Started doing this thing where I call it Podcast Sunday, where I throw it out on Twitter if anyone's got a podcast to listen to. Kind of trade reviews off. Get helps everyone out. Kind of deal. Listen to yours, you listen to ours. Leave a review and
cool beans.
Yeah.
We wash your underwear, you wash ours.
Yeah, exactly. The same thing.
Yeah, definitely how it goes.
And speaking of helping each other out, yes, we have new logos and artwork for all the social medias, streaming sites. And our podcast logo itself, they were all done by Craig from Mace and Craig. If you love the artwork done, you like what you see, you want anything done for yourself, then hit him up on Twitter, twitter.com/MaceandCraig, MaceandCraig. Or if you just want to thank him and go hang out with him, he has a Twitch channel of the same name. So thank you, Craig. We can't thank you enough. We're all happy with the work you did. And now's a good time to bring up the contest winner. Yes, we ran a contest through the month of November, and we had so many entries across all our podcast editions, wrestling, anime, and gaming, that I decided to pick a winner for each cast.
Ooh, wow.
So we announced the anime one in the previous episode from Red Leaf Retrocast, and now we're about to announce the winner for the Retro Gaming cast. And the winner is
Kevin. Oh my god. Thanks, guys.
It is not
you. Guys are the best. It's me.
No, it is BCOM33.
That doesn't sound like my Twitter
handle.
Yay! And he's already picked...
applause drop.
Yeah, applause drop. Yay! Tap of the glass.
There.
So for our first retro gaming episode and theme for the new year of 2019, he's already picked the theme that we're going to cover. That was the prize, and he's picked flight combat games. So definitely a theme none of us are quite familiar with. So that'll be very interesting.
Is Pac-Man a flight combat game?
It is not.
I don't know any others.
Wow.
You got the Ace Combat series. It's very famous.
Somebody's playing Top Gun.
Games. Yeah, someone's playing. No, not the NES Top Gun. That was a bane of my childhood.
You already agreed to.
Whoa.
You just agreed to it. So
for all of January, BCOM and any podcast he's affiliated with, he has been a guest on the Anime Edition. FYI, definitely go listen to that.
Oh.
That was the Pat Labor episode. He will be shouted out and worshipped the ground that he walks on. He's proven to be the lucky fan for the retro gaming one. He was quite excited. He thought he was only going to be entered into the anime one, but figured give him more than that. So thank you so much. We got people joining us in the chats across Twitch, Mixer, Periscope, and the YouTubes. You can find us at PullingJD or Redleaf Retrocast. It's good to be here. So enough of the housekeeping. Colin, how are you doing, and what games have you been playing?
I've been doing pretty good. It's been a pretty busy holiday season at work and at home.
Sure.
If anyone's still here from the pre-show, they know I was saying I celebrated Christmas early with my family. We did Dutch Christmas, and it was really fun. We did some skating with my nephews, some walking through nature when there was still snow on the ground and on the trees.
You have snow?
And we did for a while, and now we've only got rain. As for the games I've been playing, I haven't really been playing much aside from the podcast games. I've been pecking at Witcher 3 here and there.
Wow. You too, eh?
Haven't really gotten past like the first main storyline yet.
Mm-hmm. You killed the Griffin?
Not yet.
Okay.
But,
you got
getting ready to.
Got a little ways to go then.
I did kill the witch or the well ghost though.
Okay.
No, I just did that too.
Man, it seems like I'm the only one of this podcast not playing The Witcher 3 right now.
Hell yeah.
But I'm playing a much bigger game. We'll get to that in a second. Or at least a game of the same caliber size.
Is it a horse butt simulator?
Yes. Yes, it's a long... Yeah. It goes by a different title, but yeah, we all call it Horse Butt Simulator.
Well, that's the Connecticut exclusive title, actually.
The Connecticut exclusive.
Yeah, it's called Horse Butt Simulator.
Well, Colin, how you liking The Witcher 3? Is it good? Like, any issues with it you've run into?
I haven't seen any particular issues yet. I mean, I'm still kind of getting used to the gameplay. It seems like there's a lot to unpack in the tutorial.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. It's almost to a fault, a lot of these open world grand scale games that you're overwhelmed and it takes like 2-3 hours just to get going.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm still enjoying it. The background music heavily reminds me of Fallout 3. Kind of strange that way. I thought for sure maybe. It was from Fallout 3 for a while, but that wouldn't make sense. It's CD Projekt Red, not Bethesda.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, one makes good games.
One makes one's not broken.
For sure.
Well, to go with the deal, Colin, that you and I had made a couple podcasts ago, in the previous one, you had played Night in the Woods, and the deal was I was to play To the Moon, which...
Damn right.
Luckily enough, it was on sale Steam around that time. I got it for like a few dollars. And I, in fact, streamed the entire game over on YouTube and Twitch and whatnot. Whole playthrough. A couple instances I kind of ran into what do I do moment, because it's not totally clear, but you have to trigger events. But yeah, I played To the Moon. It's a short 4 to 5.5 hour game, depending on how you speed through it. And it's... just story focused. It's a pixel art game in that sense. Gives you that old schooly top-down RPG feel, which I really got roped into immediately. So I think that worked for how the game wanted to tell its story, for sure. The music stood out immediately. It was very serene, really set the mood quite well from beginning to end. No matter, like, if there were any moments I had a problem with or ran into, the music was always something that kind of just set me straight. I was like, well, no matter how, like, even if I hate this game, I will come out of it remembering the music was super good.
Hell yeah.
And those that aren't familiar with To the Moon, basically you follow a guy, and he's on his deathbed. He's an old man, and these two people from kind of this dream institute. I don't remember what the name was called exactly, but their whole job is to basically dive into your brain and fulfill a dying wish, and kind of change your brain to think that you actually did this wish or accomplished it in your life before you die. And so this old man's wish was to go to the moon. So there's your title. So these two dive into his brain, and you essentially then work backwards through the old man's life, and you learn about him and, you know, important events in his life that kind of made him the man who he was, who he turned out to be. And you gotta reset, you know, key elements to make him, in this case, become an astronaut so he could go to the moon.
Yeah.
And as you go backwards, you learn that he had a wife that died, and she suffered from like an Asperger's type syndrome, some sort of autism. And he was afflicted, but not to the extent that she was. And you know, it definitely sets a good mood to, you know, kind of this saddened state. And you know, to avoid spoilers to it all, I didn't really feel the end of the game really hit that note properly.
Ah.
Yeah, that
blasphemy! You have no soul.
Well, you know, I was just up until about the last, I want to say, hour. It was good. The story was told well. I loved connecting memories through key items in the guy's life, so you could keep going further and further back. That was really cool. I like that. I was playing with a Steam controller, so I was like trying to interact with things, but realized that, yeah, I had to kind of use the mouse function on the Steam controller to interact. So that, you know, once I got that done, then the game flowed just fine. But yeah, that last hour, just when everything starts going full Inception, it just dragged on and on and on, and trying to mold the story together properly, and then that what's supposed to be a twist, I felt it's been done to death, even games before it in storytelling, and even anime in general. So I think I'm just overexposed in that sense. So maybe it's not
Possibly.
the game's fault. Just I've seen it so many times that I'm just like, oh, okay, it's another one of these, basically. Like, I get it. It just didn't hit me the same, I think, as it hits many people. But I do think that the entire last hour just dragged horribly. I'm just like, oh my god, is it going to end anytime now? I get it.
Yeah.
What did you think about it all, Colin? Because this game means a lot to you.
Yeah, I mean, I've mentioned before, it's my third favorite game of all time. Like, I mean, I'm really trying not to spoil the game at all, because I want our listeners to be able to go into it as blind as possible.
Yeah.
But I really thought it worked well on an emotional level. I mean, I think the background music, as you said, played a big part of that. And it's all melancholy piano pieces.
Yes.
Given I used to play piano, I guess that kind of resonated a little more with me.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, I mean, you said the last hour dragged. I can see your point there, but the two big moments in that last hour are, I think were what really set the game apart for me, story-wise. Because I don't know, I mean, I felt like it really pulled it off well, and plus the very end, I felt that really got me in the heartstrings. I don't want to spoil what it is.
Which end? Because it felt like there was 3 kind of ending sequences, or are you talking just the end itself? The end. The credits end.
The very end leading into the credits.
Okay.
Right. Well, I think we can probably have like a spoiler discussion afterwards if you're up for that.
Ooh.
No, I know what you meant. I know what you mean. Yeah, that's that whole part where I thought it just dragged, and I've seen it so many times.
Yeah, another thing that really sets it apart is the banter between the scientists, because their dialogue is so funny.
Yeah, those two bounced well off each other. I did think it got a little too cheesy at times, but I think in the case of hitting strong emotional strings, that the one male character and his cheesy jokes all the time kind of gives you that, it brings you back up. Otherwise, it's just a depressing game the entire time. So hit or miss on the jokes for sure, but I think it had its place in the game for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
All
and
right.
I guess I think it got to me more because I was playing it and only playing it, whereas you were playing it and commentating to people and giving people your reactions. I think I was more allowing myself to be more immersed in it when I played it, so I guess that kind of allowed me to be more vulnerable to what the team was doing.
There was a funny reaction from a couple people on the Twitch stream where they're just like, "Oh my god, he's coming to the moment," and then they were waiting for my reaction, and I just go, "Oh, that's kind of lame." And they're just like, "You monster! Where are your emotions?" I'm like, "They died years ago." That was a pretty funny moment. I was like, I kind of had the opposite reaction that they wanted. But anyways, before we go on and on with that,
well, regardless of everything, though, whether you like the game or not, you played it. That's all that matters to me, and I thank you for indulging my drooling fanboyism.
No, it's fine. I mean, I didn't dislike the game at all. I just thought the ending, just didn't hit right with me. But anyways, not to go further and further into that game. We do have a lot more to talk about on this cast. Kevin, we've been talking for a while. What have you been playing lately? Witcher 3 is one we mentioned earlier.
Yeah, Witcher 3, I literally just started yesterday, so I'm not very far in it. I killed the well ghost just like Colin said he did. It is a lot to take in. I have a bunch of alchemy stuff. I don't know how to use it yet. I don't know if there's somewhere I gotta go do that, but I'm learning everything in that game. What else have I been playing? Far Cry 4, I finished that actually yesterday morning as well. I finished on stream. I looked up on how long to beat. It said 16 hours for the story. I think I did it in 12, so...
I guess you just kind of went through straight story missions. You didn't kind of mess around about the world?
Nope. Definitely did not. Well, because I wanted to play Witcher 3 for a while, but when I was picking I normally play a game and my girlfriend watches, she's like, ooh, Far Cry looks pretty, and then she got bored of it because it wasn't like a straight story, so I'm like, well, I gotta finish it now, thanks.
Yeah, it's an Ubisoft game.
Yeah.
I think the Witcher. I think Far Cry 4 is okay.
Oh, it was real fun. I liked it.
Yeah.
I love the gunplay in that game. The guns just feel really, really good.
Yes, yes, it's one of those few first-person shooters that I quite enjoy. But I need a world like that. For me, I can't do these World War I, II, Battlefield type FPSs. Yeah, I'm so tired of it.
Right now. What else have I played? I also been playing Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga in Game Boy Advance.
Oh,
very good. I'm almost done with that. It's I will say some of the world traversing is kind of a pain in the ass. It's not very easy to navigate, but get a guide.
Yeah, those Mario Luigi RPG games are hit and miss with me, big time.
Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty good. I have minimal complaints. Some stuff is like, find this pterodactyl you haven't talked to since like the beginning of the game. Like, where the fuck was that? Like,
yeah, that's walkthrough type territory.
Yeah, I hate that. Yeah, I spent like 2 days. Well, 2 days of when I played it for an hour. Like, where am I?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. What else have I played recently since I've been on? BioShock. Beat BioShock. That was fun.
Oh. Awesome. Great game.
Yeah, never played it.
Wow.
I played 2 in Infinite. I don't know what's wrong with me. What else?
Never played the first one. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm weird.
Until now, anyways. It's almost like you went backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost. Uncharted Lost Legacy started that. Latina.
Beautiful game.
Good. Very, very beautiful. Chloe looks super different than she did in 2. Like, her face is totally different.
Better graphics.
No,
models.
it's like restructured. I'm like, you got a weird facial surgery.
What
else has I been?
That's minor details, though.
Yeah. What else have I been playing? A lot of WWE 2K19, which I don't think you plan on getting it, do you, JD?
God, no.
Alright, so it's not that bad compared to 18 especially, but here's something that's really fucking dumb, is there's some glitch in the 2K games where if you don't have a PSN account, it will just not let you play 2-player. So, like, I signed in as a guest, and it's like, you can't play because of parental controls. Like, so I had to, like, look up today, like, apparently you cannot play 2-player in a 2K game unless you have, like, a PSN account for some reason.
Stupid.
It's some weird glitch. Now, you don't have to get Plus, just, like, make an account for somebody, and then it will play.
So, yeah, they want your microtransactions.
Yeah,
anything to rope you in. Yeah, it's so stupid. I felt like they haven't, at least in WWE games, they haven't like done really anything new or even mechanically since like 2008 or something. It's been a long time. It's unacceptable at this point. That's why I don't buy them anymore. I wasn't gonna buy it because it was given to me.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna buy it, and then this sounds stupid, but I really wanted to play as Adam Cole. So that was worth it to
make him in that.
I could have, but also no. So I did that, and also I remembered I have WrestleMania the arcade game on PS1, and I really want to try that out.
That'll be an interesting experience.
Yeah, maybe I'll stream it. Maybe not. I don't know. I kind of want to stream it after the podcast today, but I'm also fucking tired, and I'm on like 2 hours of sleep.
I feel you.
So there's that.
So I've been playing Red Dead 2 some more. Almost done with Chapter 4, which kind of puts me at the halfway mark in the game. That'll probably go on the back burner for a little while since Smash came out.
Yeah,
it finally came in.
Oh, I'm at 85%. Almost done
Smash
downloading
or Red Dead 2?
Nope, Smash. Almost done downloading it.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay.
Yeah, I don't have. Look, I get physical copies are nice, but they're pointless today. There's no point in having a physical copy of a game today.
What makes you say that?
They still have to install an update anyway after you buy the physical, so why am I bothering? You know?
Years and years from now when the store goes down.
You can still download your stuff.
Not on the Wii. The whole store is gone.
Okay, so Nintendo's retarded. I'm sorry.
It will happen with Xbox and PlayStation eventually.
Eventually, but you know what? Maybe that's a sign that we shouldn't just buy a bunch of dumb shit we're not going to play.
I was a guest on the Recovery of an Anime Junkie podcast, and he asked me, why I like buying games physically, and I think a lot has to do with it, with the collection mentality that I just love having. I love having that physical thing in my hands. But the second thing is that the storage space in all these consoles just still can't handle the size of the games yet. Once you get like 5 to 10 games, once you get 5 to 10 games, you've filled up the space.
Yeah, but they're all easily upgradable, like anything else in life. So I don't know. I don't see that really as an argument.
Still extra hardware and stuff you have to buy.
Yeah, I mean, eventually space is limited in any capacity. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Switch is stupid only putting 32 gigs in there.
Well, that's why you buy the cartridges. Everything's on the cartridge. I
mean, I have 6... No, it still has to install the Switch. It still has data to install, so there's no point.
Like 1 gig for most of the games, max?
Still got to install it.
Megs. It's basically a save file for a lot of them. That's all it is.
Still got to install it. So I was just like, fuck it. I got 6 terabytes on my PS4. Like, I'm using that shit.
Wow. I still have the 500 gig minimum.
No, I put a 2 terabyte in there before they allowed external hard drives. And then for Christmas last year, I got a 4 terabyte hard drive as a gift. So I was like, well, what am I going to use this for? I know all of the games. Is it overkill? Yes. Do I care? No. Look at my large penis.
Wow.
When you start comparing your large penis to storage space on a PS4, maybe life just hasn't gone your way.
Let me tell you, it's going exactly my way because of my large hard drive
Red Leaf Retrocast. All right.
Leave that Stitcher review. Kevin's penis is great. Anyway.
Oh my god. Alrighty. But yeah, Smash came out. Been diving into that. It's probably my favorite Smash game I've ever played. The World of Light little story mode.
Fake fan.
What do you mean fake fan?
Melee's the only good Smash, and you still should be playing with the GameCube controller in 2019 because I don't evolve, obviously. I still use a wired landline as well.
I truly think this game kind of makes Melee obsolete because all the characters from Melee are now in this one. So
yeah.
Takes care of that. You know, we discussed a lot of Smash on the Modern Gaming episode from November, December that just came out. So go listen to that if you want more details on what we think of that. I just want to know what your favorite characters to play are in Smash.
In this one, or just in general?
Just in general. I mean, in this, they're all in this one, so it does apply as well.
I normally Ike, Link. I want to like Mega Man because I love Mega Man, but he's just not good. Who else? Ike, Link. I like Sword People a lot. I don't know. I used to like Mario a lot, but I kind of do more Dr. Mario now.
He has more fun, isn't he?
Well, no. So in the N64 one, I know I played the N64, right? I loved this down B, the Mario Tornado, but then they replaced it with Flood after that. I was like, well, that's stupid. So, and then I used Dr. Mario, who has the right moves.
Colin?
Mostly Link and Samus. Sometimes I use Captain Falcon. Sometimes I use Snake. Sometimes I use Cloud.
Classics. Now they are, anyways.
Classic.
I've been really into King K. Rool. I freaking love him and his big belly attack. It's really funny, and just the animation. I love it. I love doing that. And then the I've been really getting into Pac-Man.
Really?
Right.
Yeah.
I could not get into using Pac-Man on Smash 4.
Yeah, Pac-Man. There's something about, I don't know. First of all, Pac-Man with arms and legs just is always funny.
Yeah. So so you've been playing. How long have you been playing Smash? Do you have Snake yet?
I just unlocked him. Yeah.
Okay, have you played as him yet? Because I really want to know how bad the nerf Snake is. I heard that they made his butt smaller, and it really affects the gameplay.
Well, you know, that is detrimental to the character.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, Sakurai just pretty much nerfed this whole game. It's doomed to fail now.
Goofy. Alrighty. Well,
this is a serious topic. I wish you would treat it as such.
You really want to dive into the deep cracks that is Snake's ass?
Does he have a smaller butt or not?
Oh my gosh!
I would like to delve into the crack of Snake's ass.
We need to go into the deep Reddit forums of like what is it, r/Snake's ass?
Yes, my favorite Reddit thread.
Side-by-side comparisons of every game he's been in, just comparing his ass.
Oh no!
I wish they put Raiden in here instead of Snake, but that's me. Actually, you know what I do wish? I wish they didn't put Richter Belmont, and I wish they put Alucard in. I still stand by that.
Then I wouldn't be one of those, what do they call them, ghost characters or whatever it is?
I don't want to. I'd rather not have an Echo and have Alucard
characters. That's the term.
Whatever your fucking marketing is, Alucard's cooler than both of them. Oh, and Joker from Persona 5 is going to be DLC. That's so fucking cool.
That is cool, yeah. Register your Smash copy now, and you'll get emailed a code to get Piranha Plant in January.
Well, since I bought it digitally, I don't have to register it.
Oh, so okay, cool. There you go.
Aha! See? 0.1 digital. Suck it, nerd.
All right, we're going long. Let's play the drop, and we'll get into our nice little simple topics. Then we can get into our games from there.
Cool. Mario did 9/11.
All right, that was the Alex Kidd drop, by the way.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. All right, so we got a few topics, and then I got a nice little question topic for us afterwards.
Ooh.
The first topic is, man, the news just keeps on coming. Fallout 76. We all know what happened with that game.
Good game. Nothing went wrong.
You're right. Nothing went wrong.
Nothing.
Which is why they seem to be implementing loot boxes in the near future into their title.
Ay.
Oh, Colin, you have some thoughts over this?
Just stop, Bethesda. Just fucking stop. Stop before you tank, and then we'll never get Doom Eternal.
That is your
That's all I
primary
want out of
concern
you
at this
right
point.
now. Yeah. I mean, this is like the 5th major screw-up on their part. In a row. That's got to be some kind of record.
Yeah, within a 30-day span.
Yeah, really.
I'm really happy all this is happening to Bethesda, by the way.
I'd rather it happen to EA.
No, because you know what? EA gets shit that they deserve. Bethesda has been making buggy games for fucking years, and everyone goes, it's a big open world. It's a big open world. They're gonna have issues. It's a big open world, but every other big fucking open world doesn't have these issues. But people just keep sucking that Bethesda dick. Like, and it's finally catching up with them, and I'm like, good. Not that their games are bad, but I just hate that everyone just fucking lets them do whatever they want. They go, you just don't understand the innovation they're putting into their games. There's so many variables. You just don't fucking get it. And then, you know, like, Witcher can come out and it's perfect. You know?
Fair enough.
Red Dead 2 also came out. Don't forget about that.
No, that game is too fucking perfect to the point where they made the horse testicles work. There's such a thing as too perfect. That's the opposite end of the spectrum.
Oh, boy.
Witcher 3 has reached in between the lines of too perfect and too shitty.
Have you seen Geralt's hair? It's wonderful. His horse balls do not change.
What? How does Geralt's ass compare to Snake's ass? Because the Witcher 3 really makes that clear.
Top 10 video game asses of all time. Number 1, Geralt. Number 2, maybe Yennefer. Number 3, Snake.
What about Jill Valentine? Oh, that's a female's ass. Different scale.
Are we talking? Well, I put Yennefer on there.
Oh God. All right.
Are we?
Fallout. You know, Kevin, I'm in the exact same opinion of you about how Bethesda just has gotten away with so much crap for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Because even when I was playing, like, Fallout 3, I go, okay, you know, we're innovating in a lot of ways. Cool, I can deal with the bugs. And then Fallout 4 came out, I'm like, no. Unacceptable.
Yeah, that game broke on me, and I'm like, well, that was all I needed.
Broke on everybody.
Well, no, but I'm like, I'm at a major decision in the game because, nope, you're killing your son. I'm like, I don't want to fucking kill my son. Let me out of this place. Nope, kill him. Game's bugged. Fuck you.
Well, look what happened to... Mass Effect Andromeda. They put out a buggy, shitty, terribly modeled game, and they didn't get away with it. But yet Bethesda does get away with that stuff. I mean, that's just a dedicated audience. And then when you know, kudos that they have that dedicated audience. Bethesda has innovated in ways to create that world that people just dive into. And then you come out with Fallout 76, and that's essentially just shitting all over them for the sake of just money making.
Well, see, the thing is about the Mass Effect, people can easily blame that because BioWare is attached to EA, and EA is the big evil devil. People are like, oh, EA ruined it. Like, they still kind of give BioWare their little bandage of it's okay, but you still fucked up kind of thing. But Bethesda's always been the golden child who I'm sorry, I never really got it. I just don't. I don't know. Even Skyrim, people were like, oh, this is a game. Like, when it came out in 2011, people were like, this game's beautiful. I'm like, this game looks like shit. What are you talking about?
It was overly textured and kind of blocky.
Yeah, I'm like, I was like, this game does not look like you can do a lot in it, but like, I don't feel like I'm doing anything for a purpose right now. It was boring. Not to say I won't try it again, but
because I'm
definitely not trying in VR. Sorry, you can't get me on that train.
Borderlands 2 just came out in VR. It's getting good reviews.
Wow, I always wanted to play Borderlands for the 15th time, but now with the thing on my face. No.
That's harsh.
I don't. It's only single player. That game is meant for like couch co-op, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's a extra part of it. Yeah, for sure. It does help it a lot. But you can play it single player.
I would have liked if they did like. I know this like pre-sequel isn't the most loved one, but like Borderlands 2's been out like forever. Like people have kind of done it over and over. You know.
Yeah.
I would actually like to see pre-sequel on VR. Like give that game new life.
But yeah, heading back to Colin's comment of being very worried about Doom Eternal now. I mean, I know it's id Software, but if this is Bethesda's mindset for how they want to put out games, I'm wondering what they're going to do. Are they going to start becoming like an Activision where they just, or even though they're a publisher for some games, that they insert their fingers inappropriately into the developers?
Gross. No, but like only the Bethesda in-house games really have issues. Like their out-of-house development is fine. Like Evil Within's fine. Like Doom was fine. Wolfenstein's fine.
For now, you never know.
Yeah, I'm sure, but everyone's boy TH. I don't see that happening.
It's definitely worrying for future Bethesda titles. Like they really, really shit the bed.
Yeah, I have faith that id Software won't let Bethesda meddle.
Yeah,
because id Software, unlike a lot of other developers, actually has a backbone.
Yeah, they do. I think they were the one. I think Bethesda. They were trying to pressure them to putting multiplayer in Wolfenstein, and they were strictly against it. They're like, it never has, and it never will. Like this is a story shooter.
Yeah.
So yeah. I don't know. I don't see that happening, and if it does, cry.
Well, speaking of crying, Red Dead 2 Online has some of the most fuck you microtransactions within the game.
More than Fallout 76?
The difference is this game's good, but so they've implemented certain things in these microtransactions. I put a funny little thing I saw online into the Discord chat. If you guys look in general there so there's the currency is gold bars in this game, and seemingly everything you do in the game gets you gold nuggets, but it's not enough to actually purchase anything in the game without this just sublimely just hot shit grind, of just doing minor tasks all the time to just get this currency, and then you got to trade something in. You gain levels incredibly slow. And the most notable thing was even minor items like fishing poles, you have to reach level 14 just to be able to buy them.
Ooh.
Yeah. So 25 gold bars runs you about $10 USD. 55 gold bars, 20 USD. 150 is in the $50 range. 245 in the 75. 350 into I think it was over the $100 mark, or even $200. So the picture for those wondering, when it gets to the 150 gold bars, it just says fuck you. 245, fuck them. 350 gold bars, fuck everything.
That's how somebody put it in perspective that like they put the gold bar prices in Red Dead. They're like $15 gets in the gold bars and shows what you can buy in Red Dead, some like bullshit, and then it goes $20, another fucking game of Witcher 3, like for Blood and Wine. It's like it's a full game. Yeah. Like just so you can understand what this microtransaction is like.
Yeah, you're better off spending that $20 instead of gold bars just buy the expansion of Witcher 3, which will get you probably as much gameplay and an actual story and everything involved. It's pretty crazy.
And maybe possibly banging on a unicorn again? Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? So yeah, I do not approve of this. GTA Online has a shit ton of microtransactions. Just about anything you can think of, you have to use either this grindy in-game money or real money to buy all this stuff for seemingly this virtual environment that you don't truly need.
Yeah.
And
it's kind of why I don't play games online.
Red Dead's kind of up the scale on that, which is unacceptable. It's it's not good for the consumer in any way, and it's just predatory. At the end of the day,
it's kind of really why I stopped playing games online, because I don't care if your games as a service needs more money to support it. I don't want to be a part of it anymore. Like, the only game I find acceptable to do it is get your cringe things ready is Fortnite, because like the game is free. So like, you want to look like a fucking dancing rooster, like go ahead, spend $5. Like, they put a good game out for free, whether you like it or not. Like, it's a good game, but it's free. Spend your $5, look like a chicken that dabs. I don't care.
Well, it's the free to play as opposed to fee to play, which is I believe the Jim Sterling quote that he's calling.
Yeah, it's fee to pay,
or fee to pay. Not fee to play. You're right, Colin.
Either way, like, I don't know. I really don't care to play games online anymore, because it's literally just who has the better thing to win. And I already bought your game. Fuck off.
Yeah. Agreed. Well, moving on. Speaking of online communities, Activision, we mentioned them at the top of the topic, pulling dev support for Heroes of the Storm, which is pissing off pro gamers since it wasn't communicated in advance. I even put a link to the Polygon article, which has quotes. So there are people's livelihoods here, YouTubers, there's pro esport teams dedicated to Heroes of the Storm. There was even a esport event that was happening in 2019 with Heroes of the Storm. And so here's a quote taken from the Polygon article. People who made a living on Heroes of the Storm, including players, streamers, team owners, and commentators, sad they feel blindsided and betrayed by this announcement. Some said that Blizzard told them just even a few weeks ago that the 2019 Heroes Global Championships was even still happening. So just no communication, just fuck off kind of mentality. Blizzard didn't give a shit. Activision didn't give a shit.
Tell me Activision did something that wasn't very nice?
Yeah, really, right?
Weird.
And, I'm not part of the esports community at all, but that is a major following to your game. It's what keeps it alive at the end of the day, and to just pull something like this for the sake of wanting to move on to other things. My theory is they're moving on to that stupid Diablo mobile game.
Yes. Well, you have phones, so you're going to play it, right?
It seems they are very quickly turning into their own version of Konami.
Yeah, well, Konami went the route of making pachinko machines.
What's the difference?
One is erotic Castlevania, that's what.
Yeah, you're right.
It's true. Yeah,
you're right,
erotic Castlevania pachinkos.
So anything to add to this other than basically what we've been saying with the other companies? Same shit, different company?
Fuck them.
Fuck them?
Yeah, really. Fuck Activision.
All right, let's get to a fun topic then. Yeah, fuck Activision. So, to go along with our theme of character origins, I thought, and to go along with the Christmas season, I want to know some of your favorite characters in video games and why. And I've added a little stipulation. The character must appear in more than one game, so no solo appearance.
Okay.
So who wants to
first?
Yeah, just 3. Name the character, why, what it means to you, and just simple, short kind of thing.
A Colin, if you will.
I'm trying to think. I mean, this is kind of a broad question.
I mean, I got a couple. Number 1, Nathan Drake. Love him. Quippy, very. I can relate to him on a personal or personality level. Kind of like his wise ass quips, and that his mouth gets him into trouble sometimes.
Sure.
He has the finger strength of a goddamn god. He can. He's the most acrobatic person on the face of the earth. And I don't know. I have something for like, especially movie characters that always like seem to get out of trouble at the last second all the time.
Indiana Jones syndrome.
Yeah, very Indiana Jones, protected by the almighty plot armor. Number 2, Mega Man, because Mega Man is just fucking cool. He's a little guy, gets robot powers. He pretty much has infinite powers at that rate. You know, I don't know. I more like Mega Man X just because it's a little more, I'm going to say it, anime-y, and he's a little more, like, I don't know, more, what's the word I'm looking for? He's exaggerated, I guess.
Sure.
So, I kind of like Mega Man X. Number 3.
See, I'm on the other side. I like the original Mega Man more. I think it's more, I like the more simplistic and straightforward gameplay.
Yeah. I mean, I like both of them, but if I had to, like,
that's why Mega Man 11 was like, it was kind of that mixture of both worlds. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. What is... Yeah, you said 3, right?
Yeah, just at least 3. We can come back to you for a third if you want.
3, Kratos, because he's fucking awesome.
Oh.
That's it, and he yells "boy" a lot.
I think the only God of War game I've never gotten into was Ascension.
That one's still wrapped in the cellophane over there. Well, I got it for $2 on a Target clearance, so I was like, sure, I'll play that.
It's arguably the best looking PS3 game.
Ooh, even better than God of War 3?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Impressive.
Because it came out after.
Well, yeah,
so they upped the ante.
I don't like when you make sense.
Ah. So, Colin, do you have any more, or should I go?
I do like Samus Aran from Metroid.
Ooh.
He's just total badass.
Mm-hmm.
Not much more to say there, although I guess just the little nuggets of her backstory that we find in like the Metroid Prime games and such, that makes her more and more interesting. And my fucking landlord's family won't stop fucking screaming at each other.
What country are they from again?
Kuwait, I think.
Kuwait, that's right. I remember when I visited you a couple times, and we just heard him yelling. It's just all the time.
Yeah, they don't yell in English, which I guess kind of takes the edge off. But still, it's really annoying. Sometimes I like to blast Doom 2016 soundtrack just to drown them out. Oh no, it's way more
all
intense
good characters
than that.
So far. Kratos with the 2018 game like really took his character over the edge, to go back to Kevin's statement. And Nathan Drake, Mega Man, excellent stuff.
The Wall is slowly becoming one of my favorites, but again, I've only played the game 3 hours, so
I do like Sora from Kingdom Hearts. I mean, he's not the deepest character in the world, but damn it, I can't help but like him.
Well, it is from your favorite game series, so that makes sense.
More or less. Trying to think of more characters that have appeared in more than one game, because I could easily name more, but they are all from standalone titles.
Yeah, that was kind of my issue, but that's why I asked the question, kind of because it kind of gets you to think more about, you've invested more time in characters that are in more than one game rather than just a one-off.
Yeah.
Because then, like, Dynamite Heady would be up there for me. I've really come to love that, just absolutely love that. I think I've played that game 4 times just this year, and that was discovered doing the podcast. Who
the fuck picks Dynamite Heady for a favorite character?
I'm just saying, like, I love the gameplay, I love the goofiness, I love the art of the game itself. Dynamite Heady's just this interesting, unique character.
It's such a random pick. I'm not saying you can't.
It is random, but I fully admit that. But it's just one of those characters that stands out to me now.
I'll be fair. You know what game I really fell in love with? Tinhead for Genesis. You ever play that?
What head?
Tinhead.
Tinhead? I'm not familiar.
It's a really random platformer I picked up at a store once, and that game is just solid, man. It's real good. I make sure to always have it in my Genesis collection now.
Ah.
It's very good.
I think, off the top of my head, third character will be Solid Snake.
Metal Gear?
Just badass.
Metal Gear!
And sometimes he's got some very quippy moments. Similar to
Ocelot.
This is a very platonic relationship we have.
Yeah, to a lesser extent, Otacon as well. I mean, he's just such a likable guy.
Snake, did you know I'm afraid to kiss girls? That was me. That was Otacon right there. How'd you guys think of that? Pretty good?
Great impression. Couldn't even tell the difference.
I think Sniper Wolf has boobies.
So, I thought about this, and at the end of the day, Crash Bandicoot for me is definitely just one of those characters that I just always need to go back to yearly. Especially the very first Crash Bandicoot. I had the NES. I had friends that had the Genesis and Super Nintendo. The Marios, the Links from Zelda.
All three, all Links.
Right. Who else? Even Sonic. I love them. Don't get me wrong, but when I got my PlayStation and Crash Bandicoot, the goofiness of the character, Crash Bandicoot just had so much more personality than all those other characters that that I never seen before. The introduction cutscene, Sonic had it to an extent, but it was really just it was limited to the game that it was in, or the technology, so to say. Like all of Sonic's personality seemed to be in just the standstill animation.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, the opening cutscene, Crash Bandicoot, and his mind's being warped. Got a hot girlfriend kind of deal.
Yeah, furries, man.
Yeah, furries, right?
Never fucking.
And then the other two sequels to the first one came out, and it just added to the character that much more. And then when you play the later games, it's almost like it ruined the character to an extent. So those first 3 games with Crash Bandicoot, I really wish that Naughty Dog, or even, dare I say, Activision, instead of remaking it, just bring the character back, much like in that Sonic Mania type sense.
Well, they brought him back. Didn't you play Skylanders? Come on.
Hurt me. You pain me inside.
Spyro's there too.
See, Spyro, I would say, is like an important character in my brother's life. I was the Crash Bandicoot, he was the Spyro. But anyways, Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, that first sexualized character, badass female, teenage years. I've loved seemingly every Tomb Raider game I've ever played, and Lara Croft's at the center of it. Well, no, not the PS2 one.
Many a good fact to that one. Yeah.
Not Angel Darkness. That game doesn't exist. And then finally, I went out with Donkey Kong. The goofy ape. Yeah. And it wasn't really. Anytime that I would go to a friend's house with a Super Nintendo and they had Donkey Kong, I would want to play that over even Mario or Zelda. It's like, I want to play Donkey Kong. This game is very unique. It looks way different.
Yeah, those graphics did capture me.
Yeah, it was just always a different game, and anytime a Donkey Kong game has come out since, they've seemingly been different from each other. Even the Collect 'em Up of the N64, the Tropical Freeze was kind of a callback to that era. I even like Donkey Kong Jungle Beat on the. I have it on the Wii, so it's really goofy with utilizing the Wii's motion controls to attack enemies. I always look forward to Donkey Kong coming out.
Donkey Kong.
Yeah, Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong. Is the Wii Jungle Beat the same as the GameCube one?
Yes, because it was the Wii port of the GameCube one, but it didn't need the bongos, so it used the Wii motion controls instead. Which I quite liked. It was unique.
I get it now.
Cool.
Yeah, and I love all the villains in the Donkey Kong games. They're King K. Rool, all the alligator, and is seemingly all the animal villains and enemies in the game.
Yeah. Shout out, by the way, to the best Kong, Chunky Kong.
Yeah, and all the different Kongs. Cranky Kong, Dead Kong.
What?
It's like a ghost.
He's one hell of a guy. Actually, I also like Tiny Kong a lot, too, with her pigtails so you can, like, fly. or Dixie.
Dixie, yeah.
Yeah, Dixie.
That was a fun little topic.
You're a topic.
Shut up, Kevin. God, your words hurt me.
You don't know how to make me feel, man.
Alrighty. Well, I got a drop here, and we can move on to our theme.
Mm. Drop.
Sonic theme, by the way.
Nah,
Ooh.
I heard it. I didn't
Okay.
hear shit.
My pen wouldn't write there for a second here. So thank you to everybody join us in the live streams over on Periscope. Hit those little hearts. I know that's a thing over there. Twitch.
What?
Yeah, there's little hearts where people can kind of tell you they're enjoying the stream or whatever. Whatever it may
I
be.
just get the spam porn bots that are like, come see my webcam. I'm like, just give me the link directly already. Let's not waste my time. Just give me the spam link. Let's get on.
We're also streaming on Mixer and Twitch at BowlingJD and over on the YouTube page, Red Leaf Retrocast. Definitely hit all the subscribe or follow buttons accordingly. Thank you all for joining us. And we have a iTunes review to read.
Ooh.
Yes. Who wants to read it?
You have it, so you read it.
Well, it's on the agenda.
Oh, it is on the agenda. I gotta scroll down a little bit. If I may. Super entertaining and binge-worthy. Give these guys a listen and hit subscribe. 5 stars. Do I have to scroll down more? Is there more? Nope,
No,
that was it.
That was it. Yeah, it's from Nerds of Ans. ANS. So
Oh,
Whatever
thank
that
you
means.
thank you so much.
what is an
we
ANS?
love every review counts, no matter how long or short. Love them all. It gets the podcast more noticeable on iTunes, which, as we know, iTunes has the worst search function of any podcast site. You know, there could be podcasts that haven't had an episode in like 10 years, and yet they still come up number 1 and 2 in searches.
Yeah.
So, thank you again. If you want to leave an iTunes review and have it read on the podcast, just go on over to Red Leaf Retrocast, leave us a nice little review. The other place you can leave a review that will also be read on the cast is Stitcher Smart Radio. And I don't believe there are really any other major podcasting sites that you can leave reviews at, which makes no sense to me, guys.
Yeah, fuck them.
I don't get it. I don't get how. Well, I get that a lot of sites get the episodes fed from iTunes, but then that's why you leave the iTunes review, so it can also show up on those other sites as well. So that's the way you can help us. And if you do leave a review, hit me up on Twitter, Red Leaf Retrocast at BowlingJD, and you will be entered into future contests. Well, automatically, such as a certain 2-year anniversary this podcast is coming up on in a few weeks.
Tight.
Yeah, 2 whole years it's been you and me, Kevin. You believe that shit?
Where has the time gone?
And almost a full year with me.
Yeah, already. It's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, time flies.
Yeah. So let's get into our theme of the podcast. By the title of the episode, it is Character Origins. So, like we said before, it is games in which a character first appeared, and the stipulation the character has to be in more than one game. Not one-offs again. I went with our favorite characters topic we just had. And I listed the games off backwards, because there's a game I want to talk last specifically. The game I think we have the most to say about it. Well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so our first 2 games are Kevin's picks.
Yeah.
So take it away, Kevin.
First game of the day is for the Game Boy, released April 27th, 1992, late Game Boy release. Well, actually, how long did the Game Boy go on for? Whatever. It went on for a while. August worldwide the same year. Kirby is you wrote pink puffball wrong. On the cover of this game, he is gray.
He's white.
He's gray.
And if you look at my notes in the agenda, I did read that. I did put that down.
You act like I can read or something. Essentially, it's a platformer. Kirby goes around. He uses enemies by sucking them into his body, spitting them out. And if you know anything about Kirby, you should know that he should absorb powers. But in this game, we weren't there yet. They didn't know what to do with Kirby. He just sucks in guys, spits them out, deals damage that way. Platform through the levels, very easy, casual, breezy game. You can get through it in about, a half hour. Very cute, very animated. But yeah, super easy. That is the biggest flaw with this game, I would say.
Well, it's also aimed at very young children from the start.
Well, Nintendo should know better.
Nintendo should know than to market games towards children. Those monsters.
They know grown men. They know only grown.
Oh, God. Well, what does everybody think of the design of Kirby, first of all?
Simple, and so fun fact, I don't know if you know this, Kirby wasn't meant to actually be the character. He was a placeholder.
Really?
That's why he's so simple drawn. They drew him on a napkin, and they were trying to think of a character to, put in this game that would, make sense, but they fell so in love with this little puffball that they just said, why not this?
I love it. I'm glad they went with this design, because, let's face it, the game is beyond cute. It's got cute music. I love the cute little stages. I love all the cute animations, especially in between the stages where Kirby's getting stars bonked on his head, and he's like, "Oh, I."
Now, do you know why he's named Kirby?
Well, Kirby's too fucking cute. So why is he named Kirby? Even the name is cute.
It's a not cute story. So you know the whole Lost Donkey.
I don't.
With Universal, Universal, when they made Donkey Kong, said hey. Donkey Kong seems a lot like King Kong. We're going to sue you. And Nintendo's lawyer at the time who was helping him out was John. And that's the man that helped them win the...
Okay.
There you go. That's where they got the name Kirby.
All right.
So, and he also looked like a puffball, so fun fact.
Ah, okay. Little revenge.
It was actually a puffball.
Okay.
Oh yeah, so they thanked the lawyer that helped them win.
I thought it had something to do with the brand of vacuum cleaners called Kirby.
Probably a coincidence, honestly, but
I mean, Kirby sucks things into his mouth, so it's not impossible.
Yeah. Let me tell you something Kirby does with
Look at
mouth.
you, Colin, and using logic.
Probably coincidence. Or did the vacuum cleaner care?
I remember Brave Little Toaster having a vacuum cleaner named Kirby.
This is true. Yeah, overall this game was good. I mean, if you're gonna pick it up, it's worth the money. But there's the Kirby. I feel like play it because at least you get 5 other games to play along with it.
Yeah.
I would go pick it up.
I like the Wii Dreamland Collection as well. It's getting on the expensive side. You can get this cartridge for about $10. Fun fact: if you put it in your if you still have one, if you put it in the Game Boy player on the GameCube, GBA, everything turns this weird yellow and green color. It makes the game look really acid trippy.
Weird. On the Wii collection, actually, I beat this, right? And I was trying to get the game to reset, and it was just stuck on the "Hey, you did it" screen. I was like, what the fuck? Why can't... So I reset the software, and it just brought me back to that point in the Game Boy game.
Oh, weird.
It's like, what the fuck's going on? And I kept trying to reset it, it wouldn't do it. So I had to look online how to soft reset Kirby's Dream Land on the original Game Boy. Hit those buttons, and luckily it worked in this version of the game. That's the only way to restart it.
Oh, wow, that's weird.
Super weird.
So for those that are curious to what the story is of Kirby's Dream Land,
there's a story.
The penguin bastard King Dedede has stolen all the food in the land, so Kirby heads out to take it all back. There you go. I quite like the little ending animation where Kirby, has all the star power, and he basically gets the size of a giant balloon, and he literally picks up King Dedede's castle and moves it back to Dreamland.
as I would.
As one would, yeah. I like the infinite jump mechanic where you float by tapping the jumping button the whole time. I mean, you can play that. You can make it a little harder on yourself by not using that little mechanic and make it into a pure platformer. There does come a couple little instances where you have to use the float mechanic, but
very few
times. So if you want to make the game harder, you can. But yes, the game is easy just because of how young of an audience the Kirby games are aimed at. So I never really fault the Kirby games for being too damn easy, because they're supposed to be. They've always been that way since day one.
Yeah. Although there's also, if you beat the game once, it gives you a code for extra mode, which is harder.
Ooh. Was it like a one-hit death system? That'd be pretty wild.
Yeah, that's not...
I think the enemies are stronger and take more damage, and there's more of them. But aside from that, not really much that I could see. I didn't really play very far into extra mode.
Yeah, I didn't do extra mode either. I just played the whole game, and I'm like, that was a nice experience, nice little time.
Yeah.
Hell Laboratory always does a good job with their Kirby game. They know what they're doing with Kirby.
Yeah.
The thing is, this game, even though it's easy, it's a perfect. I played Kirby's Star Allies recently on the Switch, and it has the same difficulty issue where, like, man, this game's really easy, but then the game just went on for way too fucking long with it being so easy, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like, why am I here if this is not
Well, again, it's not for 30-year-olds, it's for 3-year-olds.
Well, guess what? I'm 26, so shut the fuck up.
It's perfect for... It's a perfect kind of game to introduce to children.
No.
To get them into gaming.
Nintendo needs to cater to me, goddammit. I bought them.
Alrighty.
I have a bit of a history with this game.
Oh, do tell.
This was a game that my brother borrowed from a friend of his who lived on the same block as us when we were kids. Right across the alleyway, in fact.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes he would let me play on my Game Boy. He was a bit wary of lending me his video games after I lost his copies of Metroid 2 and Blades of Steel.
Well, you piece of shit.
Although we found Blades of Steel hidden in the closet years later.
Yes, I hid it in there.
Very good. Yeah, I like the level design of this game. It's like the fourth level is my personal favorite because it takes place in the clouds and then going into space. Somehow, despite the monochrome color scheme, it created some good atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
Considering it's the Game Boy, that's no small feat. Although nothing can replace the first level. That background music is catchy as hell.
Yeah.
I still catch myself whistling it to myself from time to time.
I thought you said patchy as hell.
Patchy.
No.
Yeah, well, I know that now.
Easy pass from me, guys.
Yeah, I give it a pass too.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's a nice uplifting experience.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't need to play a game that's going to give you a challenge.
You can beat it in under an hour.
Yeah. Like Kevin said, he beat it in 30 minutes. Okay.
That's all I needed.
Kevin, what's your second game?
Agenda. I'm trying to read so I can read like you, but I lost my keypad. We should have started out of order. Oh, we started out of order. What did I do?
It's fine. You can now say the
ruined
other
everything.
Game.
Shut up.
Take your
Kayfabe's dead. The other character origin, I picked Ninja Gaiden on the NES. You play as Ryu Hayabusa. Funnily enough, I thought that was Ryu from Street Fighter, and I thought this was like a spin-off of Street Fighter or something.
Growing up, you weren't the only one to think that.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, I'm not crazy. You play as Ryu Hayabusa, who seeks revenge for the death of his father. This game is graphically just... I think it's the first game, really, that mainstream cutscenes in a game. There was a lot of storytelling between stages. However, I kind of feel like they just threw them in there. Like, you were kind of in a... All right, so you play in a level, you do your platform, you're attacking enemies, which is super satisfying. You jump back and forth off walls. The sword feels like it cuts your enemies like butter, and nothing's like really stopping you. Especially the first stage has a really good rhythm to it. You kind of autopilot that level. But then it just feels like the cutscenes just happen, and you're like, oh, I guess this is where I was. And then you play another level, and then
they happen at the end of every stage.
No. Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, like, it doesn't seem like the cutscene I'm watching really relates to the level I just played or the one I'm about to play.
That's what you mean. Well, that's, it's
just kind of like, yeah, which I get it. What I was going to say, if you ever played Batman on NES, these games kind of feel similar with the wall jumping,
which is what we mentioned on that episode where we did cover Batman.
We did. That's why it sounds familiar when I say it. I've heard this game, actually, people called it a Castle. If you look at the HUD system and the sub-weapon system.
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah. I actually did want to bring that up as well.
Yeah. It's got a mix of a lot of good NES games mixed together, but like I said, when you can autopilot that first level and you think you're really good at this game, get ready to get spanked because this game's about to kick your ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get lured into a real big false sense of security, and this game will put you down, make you feel like shit about yourself, and then there's unlimited continues, I believe, so it'll just be like, come on, you can do it, you can do it. No, you can't.
It's yes, it does have the infinite continues.
Yeah,
but if you lose to the final boss, it sets you all the way back to the beginning of the stage, and you have to go through the last two levels again.
Which hey, save states exist now. Buy yourself a Retron 5. Honestly, I don't know how I played some games before.
Well, you just don't beat them.
Well, that's right. They didn't expect you to beat games back in the day, which is a lot of times games just said game over when you win.
Yeah.
Like, oh, good job.
Yeah, Shinobi on the Sega Master System. I was super irritated that's the same screen that you saw after you die over and over again was the same screen that you got when you completed it. I was like, man, that is the most unsatisfying thing I've ever experienced.
That's the thing, until the Super Nintendo era, and that only is like limited to RPGs. They did not expect you to beat games. Well, no, like
just
Mario,
no effort put into the final. But yeah, like Ninja Gaiden is just one of those games. It's a must-have for NES. It's it's developed and published by Tecmo. It's the same company that made a bunch of sports games during that era. And it came out in 1988, 89, 91, depending on where you lived.
And known in Europe as Shadow Warrior as well, by the way.
Yeah, because you weren't allowed to have ninja.
I don't know why they're so scared of ninjas.
It had a lot to do with the depiction of violence through German censorship laws.
Those Germans always know what they're talking about.
Oh. So like Hero Turtles instead of Ninja Turtles. We mentioned that on the previous podcast episode.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like the game itself, as you said, Kevin, it's very smooth. Everything feels like you just get into a rhythm. Once you get that rhythm down, up until like the final couple stages, that rhythm just sticks with you, and it just flows real smooth. I love the cool jump and slash mechanics. It all feels seamless. Awesome wall jumping back and forth makes you feel like a ninja. And for an NES game of just this primitive, development, you just get the happy feels, including all the incredible textures. Just expands that world you're in those levels.
Agree.
What are your feelings, Colin?
Do you have feelings?
Definitely fall hard. Quite famously so. Yeah, I liked it. I mean, I feel like I might like it a little more if you were allowed to sword slash while running. I don't remember if you can do that or not. All I know is I couldn't. But seems Ryu Hayabusa. That's Ryu, not Ryu.
Right.
I can correct you on that.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. So in Japan, there's no really a sound for technically pronounce it Ru.
Okay.
So whatever. Suck it. I know Japanese.
To an extent,
Anyway.
yeah.
I know one word.
Yes?
He just says he knows one word. I don't think he's expanding on that.
I thought he said one more, but
no.
Anyway, seems Ryu Hayabusa likes using Bado Jutsu. For those who don't know, Bado Jutsu is the sword attack where you draw the blade out really fast out of the sheath in a slash. And by pressing the sharp edge of the blade against the inside of the sheath, has a similar effect of flicking your finger and then gives more slashing power. But I'm just getting my knowledge from Rurouni Kenshin. Just want to flex my weeb muscles, as Tori from the Anime Cast would say.
Right. Nice reference to our other podcast editions. Like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I liked the boomerang shuriken weapon. There were a couple of instances where I jump and throw it at a higher enemy, and then the shuriken would miss when it flies back and hit the enemy behind me. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you can use that to your advantage. It really comes in handy in the later levels where... So this game does a really fuck you thing where if you kill an enemy and you move slightly left or right, it'll respawn the enemy. So everything's tied to screen position, and that's where the difficulty of this game like truly lies, along with knockback, and it hits you into pits where you instantly die. That's the other Castlevania thing right there. Yeah, that's where a lot of the issues lie within the game, because you have all these pegs of health, but it hardly matters when there's so much insta-death areas, you know, and with the constant enemy respawn, you just end up finding yourself in a bad rhythm in which then you just constantly get hit, and there goes half your health in an instant before you know it.
Yeah, does
that make it a horrible game at all? No. Like, you could play those first 2-3 levels over and over and over and over again and really enjoy the game. Now, if you want to beat the game, that's where that frustration factor comes in, because of how difficult, especially that final stage. I think it's 7. I think that's how many there are. Memory serves.
Yeah.
I didn't write it down, but yeah, that was just brutal. I was like, I have seen the ending before. I don't need to put myself through this frustration. I think I'll just move on to another game from here. So, but yeah, without the infinite continues, the game would definitely go down in my book for how much I do like it. But yeah, when you throw that shuriken, in those later levels, that's where I was going with this, you can jump, have it purposely miss you over and over again. It'll just circle around you. If you can get that rhythm right, it's a major advantage factor. And then just having the fire wheels and the ghost version of yourself, the projection or astral projection that also can attack enemies, that's very useful, especially in boss fights.
Oh yeah.
The yeah. So anything else we'd like to add about Ninja Gaiden?
Ninja Gaiden?
Shut your face hole.
Uh-oh. Hold on, I think my headphones just died. Guys, give me a second.
Alrighty.
I didn't play past second level because I
can't hear you.
So the game's cheap. It only goes for about $10 NES. There are other versions of the game that you can get, and it's been ported. Here's a final question before we. Well, first of all, it gets a pass from me despite its difficulty level. How about you guys? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So here's a question then. Should a Ninja Gaiden game be released today and maybe not hard as shit?
Have you not played Ninja Gaiden Sigma?
I have not. I have played Ninja Gaiden on the Xbox, which I believe is the same game.
Sigma is, they fixed a couple things. It's not but it's still good. Play that.
I think like Dark Souls, this is a series that's famous for being difficult, so it's hard to say.
It is hard to say.
Can they even make one that's not difficult and people not complain?
Well, how would they make it? Like, kind of in that third-person God of War-esque type stuff? Imagine a story-based Ninja Gaiden game that has God of War third-person mechanics.
Or maybe Devil May Cry.
That's Sigma. That is Sigma, no?
Well, in today's graphics and everything, how long ago did Sigma come out? Because that's just an improved port of the game from like 2002 or whatever.
How was Razor's Edge or whatever? The Ninja Gaiden 3 one.
Oh, never played that.
Oh, okay. I heard it was weird.
Anyways.
Yeah.
My pick time. My picks. Yay, hooray, huzzah. First game. Alex Kidd in Miracle World on the Sega Master System. Yes, Sega game. Gotta do it. Developed and published by Sega. Released in Japan November 1986. Worldwide 1987. Our character origin is Alex Kidd himself. A young martial artist with slick blonde hair that makes him look like he has sick-ass mutton chops. It always stood out to me. Those the 70s kind of hairstyle that flows down past your ears. So this is the original Sega mascot. We've, surprisingly enough, never covered an Alex Kidd game on this podcast. 34 episodes in, 200 games deep, I believe is what we're at.
With how much you love the Master System, I'm shocked that we've never once decided to.
I've kind of been purposely avoiding it for kind of a topic like this, and now seem to be a good time. And there's other Alex Kidd games, don't get me wrong.
What's the Shinobi World? That's one I want to try.
I haven't played that one yet either. I don't have it. It's like one of the few.
I heard it's like the one.
Yeah, it's one of the few like Master System games I want that's still on my list and I don't have. Speaking of which, Ninja Gaiden on the Sega Master System is also on my list and I don't have. Yeah. So the game plays much in the same realm of the first Mario Brothers game, where you go left to right, breaking blocks. However, Alex Kidd uses his fist to break them, and it gets enlarged when you press the attack button. That kind of gives you a wiggle room on how to attack enemies. You collect bags of money, and beware of the one-hit death system. Big time. Yeah. So that's very much in the same as the first Mario game. Without a mushroom, basically. Music is quite nice, but yet it does get repeating. That is a limitation of the Master System itself. Sound effects are very enjoyable, though. Everything feels like it has weight, such as the punching. Game diverts in its 27 stages. Yeah, it's a very long game. It has water stages. You can get vehicles in between with all the money you collect. Such as a motorcycle, where you can go across the stage in seconds, or the sweet bike pedal copter. I freaking love that thing, and it shoots out bullets. It's pretty cool. You do have a limited time with those vehicles, though, unfortunately. That's one of my minor gripes about this. There are boss fights, but it's rock, paper, scissors. So I found it fun and interesting the first time, because I was like, oh, this is kind of neat. But not every boss. That's a major complaint in the game. I really wish these boss fights were kind of even in the realm of like what we got in Psycho Fox. Colin, you remember us playing that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. I kind of wish these Alex Kidd boss fights were different. I do like the rock, paper, scissors one for the first time, but not all of them. I found controls a bit too slippery for my liking, but it is the first platforming games of the time, because even the first Mario Brothers was pretty slippery. Wish there was infinite continues so much so I can get later into the games.
Save states.
Yeah, you got 3 lives and that's it. You gotta get real good and precise at the game, because later levels and stages are brutal. Yeah. But yeah, Kevin, save states? Yeah.
It's the only way. It's the only way.
All right, so tell me your thoughts over the Alex Kidd games, because not a lot of people have played Alex Kidd, even for retro game fans.
It was, I don't know, I kind of found it to be a very standard platformer. I didn't really find anything that special about it. I could see how it's easily forgotten, especially once Sonic became a thing, because then...
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, like I don't know, Alex Kidd. I don't like the really. I always thought he's a monkey, right? Monkey.
No, he's a human. He just looks monkey-ish.
Okay, cool. So he looks like a monkey. He just seemed not to really have a personality. And once I got to the boss fight, which was rock, paper, scissors, which I lost, and then I had to go all the way back, that was good. I'm like, all right, that was that game. I did learn that all the rock, paper, scissors are predetermined, though. So if you know them, you can learn them.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you just write it down.
Did I care to go back and do it again? No.
Aw.
I don't know. It's not a bad game. It's just, dude, someone came along and did it way better, man. Name's Mario. And Sonic. And Bubsy. Alright, that's me.
Alex Kidd's way better than Bubsy.
I was just being... But, it didn't do it better than... what's that? Is he in the Olympic ring?
You're gross. You're gross at times, Kevin, with your comparisons.
I'm a bad person, I understand.
Yeah. Colin, Alex Kidd thoughts?
I can't say I really enjoy it.
Aww.
I mean, jumping is really hard to control in this game. You end up moving really fast, and you slide a lot when you land, like you said, JD. Slippery jumping. I really don't like. I ended up missing a lot of jumps as a result. I found the hit detection with the punching wasn't very good. I had a lot of instances trying to do a jump, hit just would not connect. I had to do a lot of repeat jumping until the game finally behaved itself and destroyed the obstacle. I mean, the graphics for the time are fine. I mean, it's fairly cartoony style, although the levels look pretty plain for the most. It's not exactly memorable. And I remember being kind of thrown off when, in the second level, the story just gets given to you in one big exposition dump. And the priest talking, did he really not think Alex Kidd knew his own backstory? Or does he suffer from that common game protagonist affliction known as amnesia?
Well, it's got a cute little story to it. It's very simplistic. I believe the rock paper scissors. It's like Jonkin Master steals the king's son and betrothed. So you have to. It's not just a damsel in distress. You also have to save the son. So he's got kind of that Bruce Lee syndrome, where it's like, I am the martial artist. I must save the kingdom, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, I think the game holds up. If I truly believe that if this had the infinite continue system, then it would be much more palatable for a lot of people and to play it longer. Case in point, Kevin dying once and then going all the way back to the beginning, essentially.
No, because I didn't die. I lost a game of fucking rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, that's dying.
No, that's not. That's dumb.
The Jonkin Master's minion has defeated you in Jonken. Therefore, you lose. Back to start, bitch.
Go drink some more. That was a bet. Well, I just want to know who's designing it and be like, man, no one will really test the games, all the players and how far they've gotten right now. Rock, paper, scissors. Oh, what happens if they die? They're fucking I want to be in that boardroom.
To be fair, the first boss does pretty much tell you what he's gonna throw, because he's like, I am the scissor master in Jonkin.
Yeah, but
so
still,
what do you think he's gonna throw? Paper?
No, but it's a dumb mechanic. The thing is, I didn't hit paper because I was like, oh, well, I'm gonna help you win. I didn't know what button did what.
Poor guy.
Bad game. Well, not that game. Boring game.
Boring. Oh, interesting.
I just found I could have been playing any other platformer. Is what I'm trying to.
It has its place in gaming history. Shinobi World is apparently the pinnacle of Alex Kidd. Alex Kidd did come out on the Genesis. I think it's called Enchanted Castle. I've never played it. Supposedly it's the sequel. Supposedly it's the sequel to Miracle World. I'm not sure if I ever want to play it.
Yeah.
There was a notorious Alex Kidd game that came out, which is kind of like an adventure game, but the puzzles in the adventure game are so incredibly cryptic and stupid that you just die constantly.
Well, there was one of them.
Your favorite guy Yahtzee has a playthrough of it, Colin.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, he's like, there's one puzzle where you have to go in front of a Buddha statue and pray to it 110 times.
Why?
Yeah, exactly. Why? There's a lot of things that are time-based, and you have to look at the clock on the wall, and if you missed it, then it's game over, because then it's unsolvable.
Every day we stray further from God.
I have that game, and it's just, what the fuck?
Every day we stray further from God.
There's a reason why that game's like $3, because it's so bad.
There we go.
But Alex Kidd in Miracle World, it has its place in gaming history. I think it's worth adding to your collection for the Sega Master System. And there are points of the game that, I mean, you do get good enough at it. It just, it's one of those where it's got the Ninja Gaiden system where when you get good enough at it, then you can beat it kind of a single sitting. But man, this one takes a lot of practice.
Yeah.
For the sake of it, though, I think for a pick up and play, it does get a fail. Despite how much I do love the Alex Kidd franchise and what it means to Sega, I do wish Sega would bring it back. The character of Alex Kidd. I think that'd be really nice. Maybe in the realm of a Sonic Mania type game. Maybe in a adventure-scape. In a realm of Mario. Maybe. I mean, it does have a lot of the same mechanics. So.
When's Mario and Alex Kidd All-Star platforming coming out?
I would like to see Alex Kidd make a return in some realm of fashion. I think because of how much steeped in Sega's history Alex Kidd is, that it'd be worth revisiting. Final thoughts, guys?
You could be playing other platforms.
Colin?
Yes, this one felt really stiff and slippery. I have to give it a fail.
Here's my in-depth review. If you are stupid enough to buy a Master System, here you go.
Oh, that's harsh, Kevin. Come on.
I just had to get that there. I'm sorry.
My
Colin.
God.
Fine. Play it on Game Gear. Better system, anyway.
Here, I mean, it's portable Master System, I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, but now it's portable.
So Alex Kidd in Miracle World goes for about $25. If you can find it cheaper, then sure. I think $25 is a bit steep, though.
Yeah.
Depending on the collector you are.
For sure.
Alrighty. My second game is something I've been meaning to dive into. I have the sequels, but I've never ever played the original. It's like a bucket list game. I just had to knock it off. This seemed like a perfect time. It is Mike Tyson's Punch-Out on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Developed and published by Nintendo. Released September 1987, and when the license ran out with Mike Tyson, they re-released it in the 90s, simply called Punch-Out, and the final boss was replaced with Mr. Dream, so Mike Tyson was no longer the boss. Our character of origin is not Mike Tyson, it is the main character, Little Mac, the small underdog boxer ready to take on the world and win the championship title.
Did you just pick this because the gaming historian just did a video in your... What?
No.
No, I'm joking.
Who's the gaming historian?
Yeah, some guy. Don't worry about it. Anyway.
Whatever then.
I know my YouTube celebrities.
I guess you do. I'm not so steeped into that as most people are.
Yeah, I don't really do e-celebrities.
You could put a lineup of arguably the top 10 YouTubers, and I could only probably pick out PewDiePie just because he makes the news all the time.
By the way, I would like to take a service to PewDiePie. We cannot let T-Series take over YouTube. Thank you.
Oh yeah. That's funny. That is a funny article.
Sub to PewDiePie.
Alrighty. So this is a boxing game, as you could guess, where you simply learn patterns and counters. Counter accordingly with your left and right jabs. You earn stars while fighting, depending on how you counterattack. And after earning a star, you are given the ability to press the start button, which is to uppercut and knock your opponent down. So it has an interesting loss system in place. So it's not like you lose a match and then it's back to the start. if you lose, depending on your level of opponent, it sets you back in the ranks. So if you're in the minor leagues, you'll get set back one opponent, and if you're in the major leagues, so the second half of the 8 opponents, I think it was 8, that's a major league loss, and you go back 2 spots. So the further you are, essentially, it's the further you are in the game, the more it'll set you back, kind of deal.
Right.
I kind of like that. It's very unique. I wish certain other games would do similar. I don't know what games would it be able to do it in, but quite like that. Game fully utilizes all 4 buttons on the NES controller and the D-pad naturally. So quite remarkable, I thought, anyways.
Wait, what is it? What does it use select for?
Use select to. Don't you use it to special dodge or something?
I thought it starts the uppercut.
Start is the uppercut. AB is left and right jab.
Oh wait, don't between rounds you hit select and you secretly get health back.
Something like that, yeah, during the little training sequence. But yeah, every button has a function in the game, which I thought was really cool. You don't get that in a lot, especially in NES games. So tell me what you guys think about Punch-Out on the NES.
Colin's turn.
It was a fun game. Seemed like sort of an action puzzle game of sorts. Just kind of, you gotta hit in the right spot that they're not blocking in order to get them. Like, sometimes they'll block upwards, sometimes downwards. Then you use left and right on the D-pad to go side to side. Down on the D-pad to block.
Nice.
Or a joystick.
Once a cast.
Uh-huh. Anyway.
Sick burn. We threw him off his mojo. Now we ruined it.
Now we ruined it. We really made him a D-pad.
We're all suffering photosynthesis now.
Oh, shit.
Man, that's a callback. Something we don't use enough.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I found the control scheme very intuitive and fun to use. Felt natural. I mean, I didn't manage to get past the bald bull guy, but that's more due to time.
Do you know? Yeah, I was gonna say, you know the secret.
Not off the top of my head.
So there's 2 secrets. One is you have to hit him when he's doing his bull rush. You hit him right in the stomach before he hits you, and then instant. Okay, so that's secret number 1. Mm-hmm. And if you can't get that timing down, there's a member in the audience that they move, and right when they move is the time you throw the punch, and it automatically.
Interesting.
Yeah, so there's a secret. I think there's a lot of enemies that have a secret in the audience like that, and it just got found out like a year or 2 ago.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna have to pop the game back in and.
Look it up online, but there's like there's someone in the audience that gives a tell.
That's pretty cool.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I liked the game's visual style as well.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed to make good use of what the NES was capable of.
Yeah.
Like, the character animations are simplistic but effective. They convey a lot. And I like that the more time
each character's personality too. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Especially with characters like Glass Joe, you see him looking all scared whenever you get him into a stun lock.
Glass Joe, what a bitch.
No, there's somebody who's a bigger bitch than Glass Joe in that game.
Yes.
If you look at Glass Joe's record, his record is 1-90. Whoever lost to Glass Joe is the bigger bitch.
Little Mac before he got started.
That's what it was.
Yeah, I also like that the more times a character is knocked down in a match, the more beat up they look between rounds.
Yeah.
In the square windows. It's just a nice little detail that I appreciate being thrown in. It's like each opponent has their own look and personality.
Mm-hmm.
Would have been so easy to make them look like generic cardboard cutouts, but the devs went the extra mile to make each character unique.
Yeah, they could have easily put Kevin in the game.
I'm in the game. Did you not see Bald Bull?
Oh, Oh, I thought you were King Hippo.
Oh wow!
Oh,
Wow! I thought you were Glass Joe, bitch.
Sick burn.
You're
Getting me tilted over here.
Oh.
See, I can use 2018 terms too.
Oh.
Mm.
So, how do you feel about the censorship of Soda Popinski? Blah.
Oh, it doesn't bother me.
Hashtag Nintendo censoring us.
It doesn't bother me too much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all right. No, there's that. There's a lot of obviously racial stereotypes in this game, which only get accelerated in Super Punch Out down the line.
Are they racist though?
I don't know. One guy's name is Pizza Pasta.
So?
Well, I'm just saying.
They need an American in that game called Macaroni or something.
Oh, maybe if they had a character like Lil, I don't know.
Not Macaroni.
His full name's Little Mac.
It's Little Mac's evil American brother, Mac and Cheese.
Yeah. Oh shit. Punch Out comes back.
or cheeseburger.
Or cheeseburger, yes.
How do you so this is a slightly off, but have any of you played the Wii version of Punch Out?
Yes, it's quite fun.
No, but I'd like to. I haven't yet, but I want.
It's honestly, it's almost the same game, but like better. So if you get the option to play the Wii version of this game,
apparently the Wii version, if you win it once and then you go through, I guess it's defend mode where you have the title.
Yep,
you can unlock Donkey Kong or somebody.
You fight Donkey Kong.
Yeah, that was it. I remember reading that. Now I was going, I'll never get there, but that's really cool. They put in the game.
Yeah. What can I say?
Are these stereotypes not kosher in 2018?
People get offended by Christmas, but not about songs about girls getting their ass eaten. So who knows?
Who knows?
They are getting offended over people playing "Baby It's Cold Outside."
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, everything's offensive. So you know what? Yeah, it will be. It is a no. But here's what I say to those people: fuck them.
People are demanding Apu get taken off The Simpsons. So
yeah, well,
wow,
fighting the things that are important in life, not equality for humans. Really. Get the fictional character from the cartoon off the show.
Right?
The
cartoon that's been going on since 1990, or I think that's when it aired. First aired.
Now is the time to rise up and be offended. God damn it.
Yeah.
28 years later, too late, kind of deal.
Yeah. Now we have decided it is time to strike.
So, there was two enemies that I had a lot of trouble with for two instances. It was Don Flamenco and Great Tiger, because Don Flamenco, he's the flamboyant guy from Spain with the cape, and he's the one that kind of gets you to learn taunts. So you can get the tells of the opponent, and then Great Tiger's the guy from India, and he can teleport, and he's a son of a bitch. That's as far as I got. I didn't even get to the bald bull.
Well, you have to just watch the jewel on his head, and then you know when.
Well, I didn't know that, Kevin. Now I know.
Well,
now I do. All right.
Well, now you fucking know, okay?
Instead he's a teleporting asshole.
If I fucking help you again, goddamn. This podcast sucks.
How far? Well, okay. So, Colin, you said you got to bald bull. Kevin, how far did you get?
No, the second time you fight Piston Honda, because you fight him again, and he's much harder.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't be
after Bald Bull, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Yep. So, I got decent. It's a game I'm ever going to beat. You could be a cheap ass and go right to Mike Tyson if you want.
I mean, if you get to the point where you get to him, Mike Tyson is so ridiculously hard that you might as well do that.
If he hits you within the first 90 seconds of the
it's not a fair fight. So here's a question I'm gonna pose at you guys: is the game ARMS on Switch as close to as we're getting to a new Punch-Out game?
No, that game's. It seems like it's Punch-Out on the surface, but I think there's more to that game.
It's a lot more fun. ARMS is a lot more fun than like, it initially let on when it was first coming out.
I'll have to have a look. I haven't really done any in-depth looking into ARMS at all.
Yeah, lots of fun character designs and everything as well. Some of those women in ARMS have some really nice butts. The butt cast.
Does the game ARMS have legs? That joke hasn't been made yet, right? Okay.
Yeah, I'll get ARMS. I'll probably get ARMS someday. I just can't. I still can't justify paying even $40 for it. It's just it's not.
Yeah.
Whatever. But yeah, Punch-Out gets an easy pass. I think it's a must-have for NES fans and collectors out there.
Yep, I give it a pass too.
Kevin?
Tight. Oh, I thought. Sorry. Yes, I would love to give Punch-Out a pass.
Okay, cool. And that brings us to our last two games, and these are Colin's picks.
Yes, I went the extra mile on these ones and picked games with characters that weren't the main character.
Is good.
Dun, dun,
dun. But they're still recurring characters. Anyway, my first pick is Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on the Sega Genesis, which we played on Musenspiel, JD.
Did?
Oh yeah, Musenspiel, that was a thing.
That was a thing. Old Red Leaf Retrocast videos.
Yeah.
Before it was Red Leaf Retrocast.
The BP times before podcast.
Now, it was developed and published by Sega, no shit, and released worldwide in November 1992 on the Genesis. I chose this one because it's Tails' first appearance in the Sonic franchise. Now,
the thing nobody asked for.
But still accepted. Anyway,
yeah.
I have a bit of a history with the Sega Game Gear version of this game.
Do tell.
My brother had a Game Gear growing up, so I would sometimes play Sonic 2 on it, and I could never get past the Sky Zone level with the hang gliders. That level can die in a fire.
We have personal experience on the Neo Geo Pocket Color Sonic game.
Yeah, but at least that one I was able to beat.
The Sky Stage, yeah. Sky Stage is always the hardest in Sonic games, in my opinion.
Well, I think the Sky Zone in this game was way different from Sky Zone in the Neo Geo Pocket version. But in any case, the Game Gear version is very, very different from the Genesis version, although it's identical to the Master System version as well.
Mm-hmm.
For starters, Tails does not follow Sonic around like in the Genesis version. In fact, in an opening cutscene, you see Sonic running and Tails flying behind him, and then Robotnik comes in and grabs Tails with a claw from his flying robot machine and speeds off. So basically, he's the damsel in distress in that game. And for everything else, the levels and bosses don't match at all. And the ending? Whew, it can get pretty dark if you haven't gotten all the Chaos Emeralds.
What, does Tails die? Does he slit his throat?
Well, not on screen.
Sonic.exe, nice.
It's a shadow. Yeah, it's like Robotnik going, you didn't get all the Chaos Emeralds, and then a shadow flies across the screen and it just shows a knife slitting across the fox's throat.
Oh, jeez.
It's that secret Game Gear ending that no one knows about. It's in the source code. Look it up, guys.
Oh, jeez.
My dad works at Sega, so that's true.
But yeah, the ending shows Sonic running through the credits, and then the sky fades to night, and then once the credit ends, Sonic looks up, stops and looks up, and the camera pans upward to a translucent blue image of Tails, which heavily implies that he's dead.
Oh, so the throat slitting did happen. Excellent.
That's super fucked up.
That's pretty cool,
yeah,
I like that.
Yeah. As for the Genesis version, it's really fun. I mean, Tails does nothing but follow you if you're playing single player, but it can get pretty funny to see him die in the most absurd of ways and then come right back a few seconds later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's always funny. Bye, Tails. Oh, hey, welcome back.
Yeah. Although sometimes he can collect rings or hit enemies that you miss.
Sometimes. It's very finicky.
Yeah, this is as far as I know, the Sonic game that introduced the spin dash mechanic.
Yes.
You hold down on the D-pad to crouch, and then hammer on the jump button to power up a spin, and then release to zoom forward. It's very handy for when you don't have quite the momentum to go through loops, and it's pretty fun to use until you wind up failing to jump at a crucial moment, and you fall into a pit and lose a life, which can happen pretty frequently if you're not careful.
Yep.
The level design is really good, possibly better than the first game, although it's easy to get lost in certain levels like Casino Night or Chemical Plant, and Metropolis especially. Yeesh.
Metropolis is definitely one you can get easily lost in, but it's still much easier to navigate than anything we experienced in Sega CD, which is a game we covered on the Sega CD episode.
Yeah,
Sega
you got
CD
that
is
right.
just a bad system.
Not even I have a Sega CD.
Well, that's because you don't hate yourself that much.
But I have a 3DO.
You hate yourself a little bit. Owning both would be nonsense.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of game crossovers, yeah.
Exactly. You don't need both. Don't do more damage to yourself.
Yeah, why get a Sega CD when you can get a 3DO? Right?
No.
I know you'll get one someday, Kevin. Be like 3 years from now, you're just like, I want a 3DO. Why? I don't.
Man, remember. I would sell the shit.
I think my favorite stage of the game is Casino Night, thanks mainly to the whole pinball aesthetic and mechanics at play, as well as the look of the stage. It really feels like you're in a wonky acid trip version of Las Vegas, even though I've never actually been to Vegas.
Casino Night is probably my favorite stage in most Sonic games. Just because of that. It's always so fun. Just bouncing around and getting knocked left and right.
Although the boss fight can get pretty annoying because it's a pinball machine layout with Robotnik riding a hovering claw machine that has electricity passing between the prongs and sometimes drops spiked balls.
Yeah.
The trick is to hit it from the top, but it can be really hard to control your aim because there are bumpers on the upper part that bounce you away from your trajectory.
Yep.
That's just hard to control. Pretty luck-based, but I guess that fits with the theme of the level.
Yeah. So, if you couldn't guess, it is a Sega game. If you don't know what Sonic is,
it's a Nintendo game.
Released in 1992 November. Yeah. Our character origin is Tails, the multi-tailed fox that can hover, fly, and Sonic's best buddy. The game, I do like the fact that you can play as either character, and there's even co-op, but definitely use that co-op term loosely because Sonic is the main screen control character, so take that for what it's worth.
There's split screen, isn't there?
For like the little versus mode that's in the game, yeah, that's split screen.
Okay.
Yeah. Colin was right, it is the first game to introduce the spin dash, so you can do a dash attack. Each level has a 10-minute time limit. There's a nice little checkpoint system in case you die, which is quite nice. You do have a limited number of lives, but luckily it doesn't suffer from the Alex Kidd system, so you can gain lives as you go about the levels, and after you're collecting, I think it's 100 coins, you get an extra life there. If you
rings?
Yeah, or rings, yeah. Oh my god, I did put coins throughout this agenda. Wow, not bad.
How dare you?
Whoa. Must have been early.
How dare you?
If you collect 50 rings in a level, you enter the special 3D stage, in which if you get to the end, you got to collect an X number of rings in those 3D stages to earn yourself a Chaos Emerald at the end. When you collect all of them, you turn Super Saiyan, I mean Supersonic.
When you collect the 7 Dragon Balls, Chaos.
Right? Yeah, direct Dragon Ball reference. For sure. So, my question first of all, it's Sonic. It's super fun, Sonic 2. We all know Sonic. This was the pinnacle game that set Sonic as the heavy mascot and brought the Genesis into the console war. So, instead of going on and on about how much we love Sonic, unless, Kevin, you hate Sonic too?
Nah, this one's okay.
It's just okay? What makes it just okay?
I don't know. I mean, I like the Sonic games, but they're short and they're over before you know it.
Unless you're bad at them, then you play them forever.
Well, anything that has to do those underwater stages.
Ah, yeah.
They're notoriously tough with the it like really gets your heart racing every time. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I already have a caffeine problem, so I don't need my heart racing more.
Well, fair enough point. So then my question I'm posing now is, why are so many mainline Sonic games so bad now? And they have been for quite some time.
Because they're 3D. They just don't transition well. Contra
What about Sonic Generations? And Sonic
the
Colors?
2D parts of that game were great.
The 2D parts in Sonic Colors are arguably the worst.
Yeah, I mean, there's always an exception, no exception.
There's always an exception to the rule. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. I mean, you get once in a while to get it right, but...
Well, then you would think if they know what the right formula is, they would expand on it, which it seems like they never do.
Which is exactly why Sonic Forces came out, and it was really good.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it was a fangasm game at the end of the day.
There was a thing called Fursonas, and I only wanted to...
Yeah,
let's not get into that.
Fangasm game. Sure. I think that Sega always gets their mitts in the wrong place to the developers, and the games always seem rushed. They never seem to get out the game that they want. I mean, they always seem half completed and made within a year. It's really bad.
Isn't what's the guy's name that made Sonic? Someone, he left Sega a while ago. I think he left around 2000, whenever Sonic 06 was coming out, when they really started going to shit. And ever since then, they've been shit.
They haven't been good, that's for sure. But luckily, Sonic Mania came out in 2017 at the very least. It went back to its roots. Very enjoyable game.
Yeah.
Colin, why do you think Sonic games are so bad?
Honestly, I'm not sure. Maybe it just feels like there's not much effort put into them, or they're trying things with them that are way too radically different from what Sonic is supposed to be.
Sonic and the Black Knight. Yeah, we were in the same line frame of mind on that one.
Or Sonic Unleashed.
It feels like they're making Sonic games just because they feel like well, Mario exists, so therefore Sonic must exist.
Yeah, but the difference in the Mario games and what they change is the gimmick. That's what they're not changing, like, who Mario is and what the game is. It's just the gimmick that they change. So you have Flood. I mean, we just covered Mario Sunshine on the Christmas episode. You have Flood, the gimmick. You're still platforming around as Mario. You just have this added mechanic. Mario Odyssey, the new one. You have the hat.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Sonic's only thing is he runs fast. Like, that's it. What else do you do off that? The answer's simple. Start Marioing it up. Now Sonic can leave a flame trail behind him, an electric trail, or an ice trail behind him. They do different things to different enemies. I've just solved your problem. Pay me, Sonic.
No, you're absolutely right, Kevin. That's an excellent point. There was... I feel like they tried that in Sonic Forces with the weapon mechanic, but you don't give Sonic a gun. You know, we saw that in Shadow the Hedgehog. We know how that...
Classic.
Oh, God. We know how that turned out. It just doesn't work, because then you have projectiles.
Classic game.
And that takes away a lot of the platforming, because then you stand there and then you shoot. That's not platforming at that point. Ratchet and Clank somehow just nails that, because it's got all the goofy shooting stuff. And it doesn't require a lot of platforming, because you're running around a level a lot of the times rather than jumping.
Well, you want to know what would really help Sonic games? Stop having a story. Just stop. Just really, honestly, like, that's why, imagine if so seriously like the Sonic games do.
Yeah, keep it simple. That's why we liked the first 3.5 Sonic games so much, because let's face it, Knuckles was half a game on top of 3.
Yeah, like, they're trying to make it so, like, imagine if Mario came Bowser the way Sonic goes at Eggman in the you won't get away with this, Eggman. I'm gonna save like whoever. Like Mario, just stop. You know?
I don't know. I mean, Sonic having a plot can work. I mean, look at the Sonic Sat AM series.
No, look, plot is fine, but don't like try to make it gritty and like some deep revenge story. Hedgehog. You don't even run fast in real life. Hedgehogs don't move quickly. Like, we don't need realism. Hedgehogs eat little pieces of lettuce and you get to tickle their belly. That's their superpower.
See, to me, I think in a lot of ways the Ratchet and Clank series took the Sonic element without the running fast. To me.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta go fast.
Then again, Insomniac just knows how to make a video game.
It's true.
They sure do.
I don't think the only game that I think they've ever made that nobody cared about was Fuse.
Oh yeah. All right, so you can't. Not every one of them can be a hit.
Always an exception, no exceptions.
Alrighty,
I think that might have been due to executive meddling, because it was originally supposed to be a much quirkier game called Overstrike.
Oh, Overwatch, yes.
Yeah, that's what he meant. Well, Sonic 2 gets a pass. There's a reason why it's regarded as one of the pinnacles of gaming, you know?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I give it a pass too.
Evan?
Oh, good.
Good, alright.
Good.
That brings us to
I feel like my answers are implied.
Okay. Well, it's a podcast, so you gotta say it.
I'm gonna give them visual cues from now on.
Oh yeah, that'll work. Are you seeing my hand wave? It's going left and right.
Can you hear the wind jiving from? If it goes like this, it means yes. If it goes like this, it means no. You heard it? The wind?
Sure.
Yeah, good.
So that brings us to our last game of the theme and the podcast before we get into the closing out fan stuff that I have added.
All right. Last but not least is Metal Gear Solid 2 on the PS2. The big behemoth of the cast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Developed and published by Konami and released on November 13th, 2001. Directed, produced, and designed by Hideo Kojima. On a side note, who's hyped for Death Stranding?
Right?
I'm hyped. But anyway, I picked this one because it's the origin point for Raiden. Now, Raiden is a major point of contention for a lot of Metal Gear Solid fans because there was a lot of people who got pissed off at this game when it was first released.
Why is that? I'm not familiar with that because I remember vividly after playing Metal Gear Solid growing up, I was super hyped for Metal Gear Solid 2. I had my PlayStation magazine. I was really hyped for Metal Gear Solid 2 and Devil May Cry. Like, those were the two games I wanted. And as soon as I turned 13, I was allowed, and my mom was allowing me to buy T and M-rated games, or M-rated games specifically. I was like, Metal Gear Solid's mine. So I was super hyped. So people were mad with Raiden?
I think it's because before it was released, pretty much all of the marketing implied that Snake would be the main protagonist. And he is for the first few hours, but then the game pulls a major bait and switch by making Raiden the main character.
Not only that, there was a demo for the game release where you play as Snake. So people were like, oh, nope, we're going to be Snake. And there were parts, if I remember right, that you do as Raiden in the real game, is Snake in this demo. So, like,
right.
Kojima was really like, fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah, as a result of that, Raiden has been a pretty widely disliked character. And I think Metal Gear Solid 4 and Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance seem to dedicate a lot of effort to apologizing for that by making him incredibly badass. So your mileage may vary on that front.
Mm-hmm.
Raiden's fucking cool, man. I love Raiden.
He's a cool character for sure.
He does naked cartwheels.
Yeah.
Naked cartwheels.
He does.
How much junk do we see and how much crack? These are the important questions.
Depends on
We
the
see a lot of
camera.
crack, but we don't see his junk because he's always got his hands over it.
Hey, you're not on the right websites.
Oh boy. Yeah, I personally didn't have a big problem with him when I first played it. I mean, I was thrown off a bit when he became the player character, but I didn't harbor any hatred or dislike. Maybe I just wasn't as emotionally invested in the series as a lot of people are, since I didn't play this until years after it.
Okay.
Now, the plot of this one is extremely complicated, as per usual with Metal Gear games.
Yeah,
What? Metal Gear complicated?
And there's no surprise when I was playing through this. Just right quick, Colin. I remember nothing of the plot.
Yeah.
So I was like, I kind of want to play a lot more of this, but man, I remember almost nothing from this game.
Yeah, I mean, you thought Kingdom Hearts had a complicated storyline. Metal Gear has it beaten by a landslide.
I don't know.
I would argue that.
I would argue it as well. I mean, we can make at least a wiki notes of characters and how they line up between the games.
Kingdom Hearts has 3 stories it's trying to tell at once, and they all make no sense.
Anyways, back to Metal Gear Solid.
I can read Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, the game starts with Solid Snake infiltrating a marine tanker to get photographic evidence of a new amphibious model of Metal Gear under marine protection.
You gotta say it right.
Metal Gear.
Metal Gear. But yeah, go on. Anyway,
but after Snake gets the pictures, Revolver Ocelot shows up and steals Metal Gear, sinking the ship in the process and supposedly drowning Snake. Mm-hmm. Oh, and by the way, he has Liquid Snake's arm on his right arm, and for whatever reason, that means Liquid's mind is melded with Ocelot's. Of course, Metal Gear Solid 4 tries to explain that away, but that explanation made even less sense. But anyway.
No argument from me on that end.
But yeah, cut to 2 years later, where we take control of Raiden, who is infiltrating Big Shell, an offshore oil spill containment facility that has been taken over by the Sons of Liberty, a group of terrorists who take the U.S. president hostage and threaten to destroy Big Shell and create a major environmental disaster in the process. Although we find out later, Big Shell is a cover for the production of a new kind of metal called arson gear. And then there's a whole bunch of stuff about the Patriots, a.k.a. the Lolly-Lulay-Lo, whatever the hell that means. And an AI looking to control human behavior through information flow, which is actually kind of relevant today for today's internet. Something Google could easily do if we let them.
Oh, yeah.
And Otacon's sister, and blah-de-blah-de-blah.
So I did have the a loose little explanation of the story written down in the agenda. If you don't mind, humor me for a second. The story revolves around the Big Shell, a massive offshore cleanup facility that has been seized by a group of terrorists who call themselves the Sons of Liberty. Hence, there's your title. They deemed a massive ransom in exchange for the life of the President of the U.S. of A, and threatened to destroy the facility and create a cataclysmic environmental disaster if their demands are not met. The motives and identities of many of the antagonists and allies change throughout the course of the game. There's your wild kind of character plot stuff happening that Colin mentioned, as the protagonists discover a world-shaking conspiracy constructed by a powerful organization known as the Patriots, and that kind of leads into the 4th game.
If only they were released in order.
Yeah, right, because the 3rd game is back in the 60s. It got all weird, is in the 3rd-person view. It goes off the rails a bit at times, for sure.
Yeah. As per Hideo Kojima.
Now, in my replay of this game for the podcast, I wasn't able to play it long enough to even get off the boat, and that was 3.5 to 4 hours. So I didn't even get to play as our little character origin, Raiden, the young upstart rookie with the kick-ass sword.
He doesn't even have
He doesn't even have the sword in this game, if I'm not mistaken.
True. Yep.
Yeah.
How many times did you violate the terms of?
Of course, in Metal Gear Solid 4, his brain is transferred into a cyborg body, as a la Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah. Would you put your brain in a robot body, Kevin?
How jacked is the body?
Let's say it is a flabby version of Raiden.
Sold.
Ha!
Wouldn't take much to convince Kevin, as we have heard.
I just want to be a robot.
I just want to be a robot. Fuck you.
Robots are cool.
Alrighty, so it's still your sneak and cover type game, but you're also equipped with a variety of weapons and gadgets. You don't really get any of those until after you get off the boat and you start playing as Raiden. Because as Snake, you pretty much are stuck with the sleep dart gun most of the time.
Yeah.
You do eventually get a type of pistol that you take off your first boss enemy, which is Olga, badass female chick character, which the Metal Gear Solid games always seem to have. There's at least one badass chick in the game, which is, you know, cool.
Sniper Wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is a Russian enemy, and she is pregnant with child in this game. You must never forget she is pregnant with child.
I have Russian accents. This means I am bad.
Well, it does take place in the 80s kind of deal with the, you know, red power, red curtain, all those things. Russians are bad.
You can blame the communists for everything.
Yeah. So compared to the first Metal Gear Solid game and even later games, I felt the learning curve when you first jump into this one was a lot higher.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Took a long time for me to get my bearings on the controls, even though I felt the controls were pretty comfortable. They were just so different, and mechanics were just fiddled around with that it just took a little while. And especially since it just throws you right into the game after the cutscene. You're like, you're on a boat!
Yeah, it does like a very, very quick tutorial in which you don't even get to do anything. It just throws all the controls at you. It's like, here, go nuts.
Yeah, it takes a while to get used to, for sure. Even the auto wall cover mechanic, it wasn't annoying, but it took a little bit to get used to, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
And sometimes Snake would just cling to the wall all on his own. Get a little annoying.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think the game was really trying to tell you to be stealthy, and the way to do that is to just assume the wall position every time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, before you turn this corner, assume the wall position. Before you go over here, assume the wall position. Peek around the corner, which is a really nice mechanic in the game. I really like that. Kind of blew my mind back in the early 2000s for sure. I can peek around corners. Fucking yeah. First person mode, I think it is incredibly useful due to the overhead shot style of the game. They fixed that in the third one for sure. They diverted away. Did you guys ever feel like it was just you had to rely on it too much and it took a little bit away from the game?
The sneaking?
Yeah.
No, the first person view mode.
No, because I kind of like the auto aim, the third person mode.
I don't remember that, but yeah, I kind of felt like first person mode was a bit too much of a crutch.
Yeah. All right, good, because I was wondering if I was going to be the only one thinking that way.
Yeah, I don't really use the first person.
Maybe it changes later in Raiden's section. I can't quite remember. I mean, I've beaten this game once, but it's been years.
Mm-hmm. How did you guys play it? Because I started on the PS2 version that I have, and then I remembered that I had the HD collection on the PS3. Wow.
Still playing.
Just looks way better. It still plays pretty much the same way, though.
Yeah, I just played my PS2 version. I still have it all these years later.
Yeah, I mean, me too. Me too.
Yeah.
I wasn't even aware there was the HD collection until way later.
Oh my god, it's such a nice little collection. It's got 2 and 3, and the PSP Metal Gear Solid game. The
Portable Ops?
No, not
Peace Walker.
Peace Walker, which is really good.
Huh.
Peace Walker is really good. I think it's like it's a top 3 PSP game.
Metal Gear Acid is the true Metal Gear experience.
You're on acid for thinking that.
Well, they made 2 of them, so it had to be kind of good.
Well, people just love Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, that's right. They'll do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Kevin, you've actually been streaming this game for a little while.
Yeah, my buddy wanted to play with it. Yeah, my buddy really wants to play it. So after we beat all the kill zones, he was like, "Oh, let's do Metal Gear." And I was like, "Yeah, I guess." Big complaint I have with this game that we didn't really cover. I mean, we kind of said a little bit in cutscene. My God, like I want to skip them so badly, but I know then I really want.
Mm-hmm.
But every time I do that, I watch a cutscene and go, I still don't know what's going on. So like,
yeah,
there's a lot going on in this game. The plot is over the place. I understand the controls are the way they are because Kojima doesn't want you to get in confrontations. So he's like, well, if you're going to do it, you're going to be punished. But like, I'm going to get in them, like inevitably. Like there are boss fights. So like, I hate the controls. I know Metal Gear does it for their own edgy way, but stop. I don't know. The game's good overall. I'm still. We're gonna keep playing it. We're gonna beat it, but I don't know. I'm not that Metal Gear is over, but I feel like it's culty hits where people forgive anything it does. But you know, spade's a spade. The controls are bad.
Yeah, we have mentioned the controls quite a bit already. We have a question in the chat. Do any of us play Fortnite?
Yes.
Often. Not
super actively, but you know, when I just want to play something real quick. Yes.
There you go. He's in the Twitch chat, Kevin, if you want to talk to him. I do not play Fortnite. Those online games are not my jam. So
yeah, I play here and there. I'm not the biggest Fortnite. I do like it.
I even tried getting into Warframe a little bit recently because it's free to play, and I was like, this is fun for an hour, and then I was just kind of done. That's just what I am. I think the only online game I've ever, at least recently, gotten into was Splatoon 2, because it's just so goofy and easy to pick up and play. Doesn't require a lot of effort. So back to Metal Gear Solid 2. Is this my favorite Metal Gear Solid game? No. I still think the first... that's my least favorite, actually.
You can fuck yourself.
I really didn't like the third one much at all. I do think it's a much better game. I think the story just got really overwhelming. The boss fights just... You know, it didn't really do anything interesting and unique. Like the first one did with the whole switch your controller in the port aspect. That was really cool.
There's a boss fight that you can beat by literally going into the PS2, and it's unique.
You can go into the PS2 and what? You cut out.
When you're going to fight the old man sniper, you don't have to change the date. And if you make it more than a week from the current day you got to the fight, he'll die.
How would you know to do that, though?
Exactly, Kojima. How would you know to switch your controller port?
Well, they kind of hint at it in breaking the fourth wall sense.
Yeah, they
because it was an intricate part to the boss fight.
Right.
Peace Walker.
This is a cool way to beat the legend.
Peace Walker is probably my favorite game, and that's kind of ironic because it's the handheld.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for the Metal Gear Solid series. I haven't played enough of Phantom Pain yet, but that game is like goofy nonsense fun.
Make your horse poop.
Yeah. So, Metal Gear Solid 2, I really need to continue playing it to replay the Raiden parts, because I do like Raiden as a character. I did like the bait and switch even as a kid, because I was never one of those fanboys that were just so enamored with Metal Gear Solid the first one that to be upset with something like that. But then again, I was a lot younger, and I don't know, Raiden's just grown on me as a character. He's really cool. I wish the Metal Gear Solid franchise did more of them, but as you said, Colin, the backlash with him was what it was. Colin, how do you feel about kind of Metal Gear Solid 2 compared to the franchise itself, and how this game went down?
There's not really much to say. It's a Metal Gear game. It does a lot of the stuff that you would expect from it. Just so much ludicrous out there stuff, like Liquid Snake's arm controlling Ocelot, or the Patriots AI are rising from the quote primordial soup of internet data. Some other stuff from 1 and 3. Like Hideo Kojima really went out there. But
Kojima
I
went out
remember there were some moments that were kind of memorable. I remember when I first played it, there's a moment later in the game where the Patriots AI is trying to mess with your mind and says, Raiden, you need to switch the game off right now.
Yeah.
Like a sucker, I panicked and actually did that. And since it had been an hour or so since I last saved, I was pretty pissed.
Oh no, it effed you.
It sure did.
Well, those are those memorable Metal Gear Solid moments. I just didn't really get that with the third one.
Yeah.
I mean, there was the river scene with all the dead people and phantoms.
Oh,
that was cool in Metal Gear Solid 3. I remember that one.
Climbing up that giant ass ladder.
River.
And Eva constantly having her boobs hanging out.
Oh, yeah, sure, of course. That too.
That was essential to the plot. Thank you.
Kevin, how about you? What are your thoughts?
Metal Gear 2 is okay. Just fix the controls, and I would like it a lot more. I kind of have to hand it off to my buddy because he lives for the series when we play it.
Sure.
But I'm enjoying the experience for what it is. I will say there's also a pretty big lack of direction Metal Gear kind of suffers with, where you kind of like, I don't know, we're diffusing these bombs right now, and then it's kind of like, all right, now flop around this area until you figure out what you're supposed to be doing next. I feel like the game could have helped with like some kind of objective list or marker of some sort.
Yeah, Phantom Pain did something along those lines to help it out.
Well, that's an open world game, so I hope it would. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Metal Gear games take place like in a relatively small, so eventually you'll find out what you're supposed to be doing. But it's annoying to
like when you're on the ship and you have to go through the laser section, which is of course tied to making the entire ship explode. And there's multiple levels of those lasers, and you have to just assume which blinking lights will disengage which one. So you'll explode. Yeah. I exploded, I think, 3 times before I'm like, oh, okay, it's that one, and then it's that. Oh, wasn't that one? Oh, that was the C4. Oops.
Yeah, I had the same experience.
What is this bag? Oh, it's flour. Weird. I wish I found the thermal goggles. I couldn't remember where they were. It's been too long.
I missed a bunch of stuff that would have helped.
Shit, I remember finding them.
So,
although you can show the lasers by smoking your cigarettes too.
Oh, I forgot you could do that. Silly.
like in real life.
That's very Mission Impossible-esque, yeah. All right, so game gets a pass.
I was kind of thrown off by a couple of the controls. Like the X button is the cancel button in here, and the circle is to action, which is pretty backwards.
Well, no, that's Japan controls.
True.
That's Japan controls. A lot of Japanese-centric games, especially from the PS2 era, PS1 and 2 era, stuck with the circle as the action.
Ah, yeah. And there was also the fact that when you're in crouch mode, if you try to move, Snake instantly just starts crawling on his stomach. It's like I kept expecting him to just move in a crouch, like walking, but he kept going on his stomach. I'm like, damn it, Snake!
Yeah, that came later. That came in later games.
Did any of you get the Pliskin reference, by the way, in the game?
Yes. Escape from New York.
Obvious, bro. You can tell what movies Kojima was watching every time he makes a game.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, again, we're running a bit long here, so game gets a pass from me. Kevin?
Although it has a lot of cutscenes in it.
Yeah, very, very big pass. And I do agree, this is running long. I got Smash to play, damn it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So, just one more time to go through the 6 games we talked about. From the top, Ninja Gaiden on the Nintendo. Kirby's Dream Land on the Game Boy, Alex Kidd in Miracle World on the Sega Master System, Punch-Out on the Nintendo, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on the Genesis, and Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty on the PS2. And for the record, Sons of Liberty on the PS2 can be gotten for $5, HD collection for 10, and forgot to mention Punch-Out you can get for about $20.
Ooh, one thing. There's 2 versions of 2, right? isn't it like Substance and Sons of Liberty?
Yeah, it came with like little extra content. It was
okay. I didn't know if there was a big difference between the two.
Nah, you can get either.
Okay. Well, alrighty.
So, Kevin, favorite and least favorite.
Favorite from this list. I really need to take a second and read them over because I think this is the first time I've picked. Oh no, Alex Kidd is least favorite. That's right. Favorite. Oh, it's tied between Punch Out and Sonic. We'll go Punch Out.
Cool. Colin?
I think Sonic 2 is my favorite, although Metal Gear Solid 2 is a close second. And Punch Out 2. As for least favorite, Alex Kidd.
Yeah. I think we're, as much as I love the Alex Kidd series and who he is, the game was definitely the weakest out of the group we played.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I am going to actually pick Kirby's Dream Land as my favorite. It was the most enjoyable and the less stressful out of all the games we played. It was very welcome on the list. Alrighty. So to finish out the cast, we have some fan comments I'd like to read you guys, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
Gilo UK says Sonic 2 was a great game. Loved the zones, the graphics, and the music in it. Alex Kidd, I never owned, but brings back memories of playing it loads with my mates, or at my mate's house who had a Master System. Punch Out, I only recently started to play on his stream and really enjoyed it. Kirby, Ninja Gaiden, and Metal Gear Solid 2 haven't played. So there you go. Colin, why don't you read the next fan comment?
Okay. This comes from Oofda Games. Metal Gear Solid 2 was great, but not as good as the first. I have a soft spot for Kirby's Dream Land. Must have beaten it 100 times as a kid. Loved my Game Boy. Ninja Gaiden made me want to throw my controller, probably 100 times as a kid. Punch Out was fun for a while.
Go. Kevin, why don't you read the next one? The next two, actually.
I'm trying. I literally just closed the agenda before I realized they were in here. Hold on. Okay. Lissy Itza. Jesus Christ. I feel like Metal Gear Solid 2 got a lot of flack for no real reason, except playing as Raiden instead of Snake. And YoBGS says Alex Kidd is tremendous because of how off the wall it is. Ninja Gaiden was the original Rage game. Punch Out is satisfying that you can actually learn patterns and eventually beat it. Sonic 2 is beautiful and sounds amazing and feels great. And it's such a rich world.
There you go. If you want to add some fan comments, we'll be doing more of this via a Discord community. And I'll mention that in a second. Or you can hit up the pinned tweets before we do each episode every other weekend with the list of games. And you can make your own comments, and we'll read them on the cast. You can do that at BowlingJD or at ConsoleKev, either one of us. Will do. Redleaf Retrocast. Use the hashtag. That will also work. And
I'll go get a damn Twitter.
And to close out the cast, community shoutouts from the same pinned tweet at Costa5643769. He retweets just about everything we put out. He's what you would call a super fan.
Yeah, he's the greatest hits collector of this podcast.
Yeah, right. At GGEZ Reviews, solid fan there. At Ever Living Games. Let's get more than 3 for next time. And if you want to join, I
appreciate you 3.
Yeah, we really appreciate you 3. If you
even
join,
though JD's like, we need more of you.
We need more of these super fans. So if you want to join the community, we have partnered up with then head on over to Retro Twitch. It's part of my little Twitter thing to help partner with them to join their Discord. It's a big retro gaming community, retro anime community. It's quite fun. Easy to get into. Just hit up at twitter.com/Gilo_UK. There you go. Will be in the description of the episode that will go up on iTunes, Stitcher, Smart Radio, Spotify. And don't forget, if you've loved this episode, feel free to leave us a review on iTunes or Stitcher, and that will also get you into any future contests we do, such as your anniversary, which is right around the corner. So thank you everyone for joining us on episode 34 of the Red Leaf Retrocast, Retro Gaming Edition. This has been Character Origins, and we look forward to seeing you in the new year.
Tight.
Bye, folks.
Now that we're off the air and nobody can hear me, this audience. Okay.
Didn't catch that.
Yeah, you were
Nothing,
cutting
don't
out
worry
a
about
lot during the cast.
Yeah, I don't know. So you guys did once in a while too, but I did what I could. Okay.
No, it was fine. We had it flowing.
Flowing.
Good.
All right, character origin.